Hey everybody, Timmy Flyersguy here, reminding you to check out my Back in the Day 100th episode exclusively on the Timmy Flyersguy YouTube channel. The Back in the Day 100th episode will be premiering, will be on YouTube September 15th at 6 p.m. So make sure you check out Back in the Day 100th episode exclusively on my YouTube channel.
My shine, they think I'm out of my mind. One chance, we own. Take another look, you know that we gone. Came from the ground and we crawling up. You can feel it in your fist when you balling up. Come on. The sky turns black, it don't matter. We know the sun is coming up. We were born to run.
Hey everybody, it's me, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to this week's edition of Classic Flyers Theater. I'm Timmy Flyersguy. In this week's episode, we're going to take a look back at Game 1 of the 1985 Stanley Cup Finals between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Edmonton Oilers. Two teams that are the best in their conferences, going at it head-to-head in a classic matchup between two teams with two Hall of Fame hockey players, Kelly Lindbergh and the great one, Wayne Gretzky. Let's roll the footage.
The officials for tonight's game, the referee is Andy Van Helleman. Handling the lines will be the veterans Ron Finn and Leon Stickle. Playing in goal for the Edmonton Oilers will be Grant Fuhrer with a 3.30 goals against average, 11 wins and 2 losses in this year's playoffs. In the net for the Flyers, Kelly Lindbergh with 2.26 goals against average, 11 wins and 3 losses, including 3 shutouts. And now the voice of the Flyers, Gene Hart.
Thank you, my friends. We have Murray Craven on the left side, Sinicello on the right, with Poulin and Crosman back with Marsh. And the Oilers go with Napier, Anderson, and Mark Messier, the one who'll be a key, along with Lowe and Fogelin. Puck dumped into the Philadelphia zone. Crosman is there, a wraparound to Sinicello, tips it through at center ice, where quickly Glenn Anderson drops it off to Messier, who'll turn and starts through to Anderson over the line, left circle drive over the top of the net off the glass to the Edmonton offensive left side, poked into the corner. Messier's going to be able to come out of that corner if he wants to, then stick handles a little bit in front and then slaps in on a leader to Lindbergh's left, and he goes down to cover up.
Discipline and poise is so very important to the success of Philadelphia, and you can see it happening there. Brad Marsh got caught up on the high boards. They quickly got back to take the extra man, which was Messier. But every one of the Flyers, rather than running around, went and took their man. Oilers without Pat Hughes, Larry Milnick, and Dave Semenko. And the Flyers... We'll give you the Flyers catches next stoppage.
Poulin wins the draw from Messier to the near side. The Flyers try to come out, blocked at the point. Anderson with a drive from about 48, 50 feet out from the front top of the right circle and grabbed chest high by Philadelphia's Lindbergh, and we get our first bit of eye staring. Marsh and Messier.
Brown, Hackburn, Brad McCrimmon, and Richie Sutter not in uniform for Philadelphia. I think Brad Marsh took Messier out along the boards, and I don't think he really appreciated it too much.
Philadelphia has Carson out, along with Sinicello, and there's a play back. Anderson has it blocked. Napier follows up on the far side. Sinisalo fails once to come out. Then Crosman bangs it off the left wing boards at center. And then Poulin lifts it into the Oilers zone, blocked off but controlled, and knocked wide to the net from 40 feet straight away by Carton. Back to the point. It's popped up in the air, off the stick of Crosman, and then slapped smartly by Napier to center ice. And Philadelphia's Poulin's there, and he rips it in. Takes a bump at Anderson. As out comes Ron Sutter now with Carson and Sinisalo. The Oilers try to roll it up the middle. It's deflected to their defensive right side and sent up through past Marsh deep in the Philadelphia zone. After it is Gary Curry. He's cut off, and Marsh up in his own right side bangs a pass through, and at center ice Ron Sutter drives it in as he's out along with Pocket and Derek Smith. Boom, and jam up in the offensive left corner. Flyers try to play out. Blocked off by Huddy. Huddy out there along with Coffey, and then an angle drive from behind the net is blocked off. And then Krushelnyski fails to handle an outlet pass at center ice. The Flyers dump it right back in, but an offside is called. 1 minute and 37 seconds of probing action in the first period. No score.
Derek Smith has not had that much playing action in the playoffs. Whenever he's been out there, he's given 110%. He's been very strong defensively and contributing with a goal and assist for the Flyers in the playoffs so far. But I think what we've got here is a classic matchup. A high-powered offensive team in the Edmonton Oilers and a strong defensive team in the Philadelphia Flyers.
The reason for the murmur, Timmy Kerr on the right side.
Paul Coffey very nearly knocked that puck into the net as the Flyers tried to center that pass out.
McClellan is out there along with Lindstrom. McClellan acquired from Pittsburgh, Lindstrom from Winnipeg as the Oilers started building pieces of their Stanley Cup champion puzzle. Puck dumped into the Flyers' defensive left corner, and Dvorak through. Patterson breaking through into the zone is brought up to and taken off the skates by Don Jackson, who curls around the Lindstrom and up on the left side. Flyers let it go to the point, and Dvorak can't keep it in. Dumps it back to Sutter, who got back quickly in the slot. Feeds off left side at the Flyer line, and Patterson bounces it through at the Oiler line. Up ice, plays taken away, and a careless Oiler pass by Randy Gregg, and dumped deep in the Oiler zone by Philadelphia. Derek Smith out with Pocket again, and Ron Sutter. Giveaway pass at center ice, and Howe through on the right side to Sutter, who peels back in his own zone to get some momentum. Is stopped, looks up at center, and finds Pocket coming through with Derek Smith. And long drive from out wide, and Fuhr about 10 feet out in front of his net does the foot and the right glove save for the stoppage.
Brent Fuhr really plays out of his net. He plays very, very high. He'll play good 4 or 5 feet over top of that goal crease, and especially when he sees that player getting the head down and ready to shoot, he moves out even further. And this time, Tocchet had a good shot, and Fuhr had to make the glove save with Derek Smith charging in for the rebound and almost skating over top of Brent Fuhr. But the Flyers could be aware of that, and are aware of that. He's scouting his hockey club of how far this man plays out of his goal. And he's very quick, as Eddie mentioned in the opening, as we reviewed both goalies.
The Oilers have made 4 line changes. Messier's line is out once again, and Gretzky has not been on the ice. Flyers have Hospodar out of Marsh. Kerr is spun off as he's on with Prop, and up front, Davey Poulin, and the Flyers forechecking, but it's taken off by Coffey. Peels it around to the near side and outlets to Messier. He stopped, and then a little fluke shot in from the top of the left circle by Prop. Fuhr blocks that off. The Oilers outlet up to center ice, and here comes Dave Lumley at the Flyer line against Howe, or against Marsh. Taken off the puck, and Hospodar turns back the other way. He ices it unless Philadelphia's Prop can touch up first, but Fuhr does. Drives it to the near side to keep play on in the Oilers zone. It's kicked up the middle, and here they come as the Flyers late in a line change. Coffey over the line, drive, and a grab by Kelly Lindbergh off the quick thrust from the left side by Yaroslav Puzar.
Well, Puzar had a good opportunity. He's outside on an angle, but Kelly Lindbergh was able to be there and see it and make the play as the Flyers were caught in a line change. Hospodar going off the ice, and Crossman trying to get back into the play, and just when he did, the play was made off to his right. Puzar took that shot. He got it up high where Lindbergh was able to grab it and hang on, forcing the face-off to Lindbergh's right inside the Flyers zone.
3:19 gone in the scoreless first period. Gretzky comes out with Curry right, Krushelnyski, and an interesting, depending upon the situation and the opponent, either Gretzky or Krushelnyski will be the center man on the face-off, and this time it's the big tall, rangy fella that they acquired last year from Boston for Kenny Lynn Smith. The defense has Fogelin on one side, Lowe on the other, and the Flyers go with the pocket Derek Smith and Ron Sutter, Crossman, and Howe. Defensive right circle, puck in the corner, poked around behind the Philadelphia net, wrapped up past Curry to the near side, and it slips past Lee Fogelin into the Oilers zone and dumped up to center ice through and played by the Flyers the other way, and the Oilers take it, lose it. Flyers gain it at the Oiler line and up the middle to Howe. He's going to get a shot. He's hooked off at the last minute. The Flyers trying to keep it in. Derek Smith a drive right on. As diving in front of goaltender Fuhrer about 20 feet straight away was the defenseman Law and almost cleaned off his own goaltender. The Oilers dump it all the way down, and we have an icing after 3 minutes and 49 seconds of scoreless play.
Well, the fans are excited over that play by the Flyers. Shots are even in this period so far, 3 apiece. But Howe, as he's done throughout the playoffs, initiating that drive, and everybody sort of conveyed on him, and then the puck just came back. Nice play by Talkett to Smith, who got the shot and who had to get it up over the fallen body of Kevin Lowe.
Strange to commit himself that early. The Flyers will get an offensive right circle faceoff. Philadelphia will go with Howe and Crossman on the defense, and up front Talkett with Derek Smith and Ron Sutter. For the Oilers, Gretzky, Curry, and Krashelnyski with Fogelin and Kevin Lowe. Offensive right circle. In case you're wondering about numbers, in that 1980 preliminary round that these two teams played, the Flyers only have Brian Propp left, and the Oilers have 7 of their current. Crossman from the faceoff, right on through a screen, and Fuhrer kicked it to the near side. Giveaway in front, turnaround shot wide by Philadelphia's Ron Sutter, as the Oilers were uncharacteristically careless in their own zone. Pass up ice, beautiful play into the zone. Derek Smith in front, and so is Rick Talkett, but the pass deflected into the near corner. Behind the net, the Flyers try to come out. Talkett out of that left corner. Angles it in on net, cured the save, and just covered up the rebound before Derek Smith took a swipe at it in the crease.
The one thing for the Fuhrer, the style of play that the Edmonton Oilers use, the Flyers will get their scoring opportunities. If they go to that net, they're going to get their chances, but the Oilers are known for scoring more than their fair share as well. But the Flyers have had a couple of good opportunities. They make things happen. You get on those defensemen quick enough, and they'll turn it over. This time the puck is laying there, and Derek Smith was trying to go to the puck, but all of a sudden Grant Fuhrer was able to get out there quickly and cover up that loose puck with Ron Sutter also on the doorstep. The Flyers were working hard in the Oilers zone, and that's what created the opportunity, was the hard work, the good aggressive forechecking on behalf of the Flyers.
Right, out for the Oilers defensively. Don Jackson on one side and Randy Gregg on the other. Up front they go Messier with Anderson and Napier, and the Flyers counter with Patterson left, Kerr and Poulin, along with Marsh and Eddie Hospodar. Offensive left circle face-off. No penalties. Shots 4-3 Philadelphia. We played 4:18 into a scoreless first period. Puck cleared back to the point. Hospodar looks at the net. Dribble shot cut off and out break the Oilers. That's Randy Gregg through on the right side, and Anderson's going to challenge Marsh. Up the middle, he's into the slot. Lost turnaround shot, and that hit the skate of Marsh in front. But a beautifully conceived setup by Anderson. Flyers working it up off the skate to center ice. Hospodar, nice left wing pass to Patterson. Over the line to Kerr. Kerr ambles into the left corner, drives it in on a backhander. Deflected near side, and Anderson puts a mugging on Poulin, who tries to get it into the right circle for Kerr. But it's picked off by the Oilers. Messier is bumped once, but gets it around behind the net. And Jackson will shovel it up on the left side to Napier. Through, he's got Messier on the near side, but Marsh blocks the pass off, sends it back the other way, but it's taken off by Fogelin, who dumps it deep in the zone, is buried on the check. It would have been an icing, and we're going to have an elbowing penalty against Philadelphia.
Dave Poulin buried Fogelin with a check, but they're saying he got his elbow up too high, and it'll be the first power play opportunity of the game. It'll go to the Edmonton Oilers.
5:08 gone in a scoreless first period.
Penalty will come at 5:08 of this first period when Poulin knocked down Dave Fogelin, but he got his elbows up too high, took him across the chin. Andy Van Hellemond was right on the spot to call the 2-minute infraction. And the power play, which has not really been a potent weapon for Edmonton during the playoffs. They haven't really overpowered teams with their man advantage, but which is hard to believe the way they can score goals at even strength.
104 penalty minutes on the playoff year. Oilers are only 9 for 50. That's less than 1 in 5, and that's surprising. But out there's Gretzky, Curry, Krushelnyski, Huddy on the right side, and Lowe on the left. Make that Coffey on the left. Flyers try to clear it off the glass, but it's off the stick of Howe into the far seats, and the Oilers again will get an offensive left circle face-off. Philadelphia defending, and Craven out with Ron Sutter and Crossman with Howe.
First real test for Philadelphia in this game thus far.
Mike Krushelnyski, Jari Kurri, and Gretzky. Ron Sutter, the face-off at the feet of Krushelnyski, wound by Howe around to the near side, and past Huddy to center ice. He drops it back to Paul Coffey. Coffey angles right side. Huddy looks, wants to give and go with Coffey, and does. Will fly up with great strong strides at center. Over the line against Howe. Stops at the blue line. Drags it into the left corner. There's a collision between Kurri and Gretzky. They get their signal straight. Back to Coffey. He looks. No shot. Kurri right side. Huddy's there. Drive off the elbow of Lindbergh. Drops off in front. And cleared now by the Flyers out to center ice. There's a steal. Ron Sutter is pulled down, and Coffey's trying to go off. And he had no choice as Sutter had indeed it. 5:49 gone. Scoreless first period from the Spectrum.
Coffey's going to pick up a 2-minute minor for interference as the Flyers were shorthanded, and Sutter had position on him, breaking along the boards. And Coffey just pulled him down to the ice with that quick deflection, just steps around him. He's got position on him. He gets that stick up high and pulls Ronnie Sutter down to the ice. So the Flyers, or pardon me, the Edmonton Oilers, Paul Coffey will pick up a 2-minute minor for interference. Time of that penalty is 5 minutes and 49 seconds into the first period.
Coffey with 40 minutes on the playoff here. Penalties even at 1. They'll play at 4 skaters each for a minute 19, the time remaining on Dave Poulin's penalty. But you might remark why this makes an Edmonton Oilers team particularly dangerous, because of the greater skating room out there. There's a play by Gregg up at center ice. Messier can't handle it. Goes over the goal line, and that should be an icing, as Philadelphia's Doug Crossman is there first.
41 seconds. That's all the Oilers had the opportunity with the man advantage. Dougie Crossman has played a big role as well, and I think the one thing that is a real strong point in his favor is his ability to be very calm under a lot of pressure and a lot of fire inside the Flyer zone. His ability to calm things down, hold on to the puck, and even carry it out has been a big addition to this team, especially in the playoffs when everything's at a fever pitch.
Still Craven and Ron Sutter with Crossman and Howe, and the Brain Trust, led by Gren Sather, has Gretzky out with Messier, along with Jackson and Gregg. Might point out that the Oilers already have 6 shorthanded goals among the 77 that they've scored in just 13 playoff games. Now, Leon Stickle wants Messier and Ron Sutter to adhere to the face-off rule. Messier gets it behind the net, cuts off Ron Sutter, and they get it off to Gretzky near side. Wheels out on the left, and they look for the breaking Messier at center ice, but hanging on to it and playing through on the near side. It's blocked off away from the defenseman, and that was Randy Gregg. To Howe up on the right side, to Crossman at center ice, through at the Oiler line, flips into the offensive left corner, ricochets on the goal line to the right of Lowe. The goaltender Fuhr kicks off 2 bodies, and the Oilers can come out 3-on-2. That's Messier up through at the Philadelphia line, along with Anderson, cut off, rolls it to the net, but there's Mark Howe to outlet on the right side, and Philadelphia coming through. Ron Sutter over the line along the left wing, fakes the shot to Murray Craven, but as he wound up, the puck was cut off by the Oilers, shot up ice, and I think into their player bench. The faceoff will come back to the top of the Flyers' offensive left circle with 21 seconds remaining on the Flyer penalty.
You know, it's just amazing how this young man keeps changing the record book. It's awful.
Those stats for the playoffs.
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, he has records already and still have 7 games yet to play. If it goes 7, but boy, he is one heck of a hockey player.
1:02 remaining on the penalty to Coffey. Puck control on the defensive face-off by Lowe is out with Fogelin, and Gretzky on along with Kurri. Puck kicks through on the near side. Kurri is cut off nicely by fellow Finn Ilkka Sinisalo, allowing Philadelphia's Thomas Eriksson to bring it up on the right side, flip it off the glass, and ricochets behind Fuhr. Quick outlet to the near side. Zezel blocks into the corner. He's got an open man in front. Beautiful block by Kevin Lowe. He still had Eriksson there, couldn't find him. The penalty over. The Flyers on the power play for another 35 seconds. They jam it up at the hash marks along the board's left circle.
Why, they looked like they had that passing lane wide open, and it just was an excellent block on the part of the the Oilers, Kevin Lowe. And Fogelin, a player who gave up the captaincy to Wayne Gretzky, but also has been a rock back there for that Edmonton club.
It's odd. He's still on the ice, and your former teammate Dornhofer here on the left. You remember the battle, the fight they had in Buffalo one year?
Of course, he was just a wet-nosed rookie then. He broke in at 18 years old, Fogelin. Yeah.
Sinisalo, Kerr, and Zezel up front with Dvorak and Eriksson on the power play. Fogelin is out with Lowe, and there's a little jousting between Fogelin and Peter Zezel as the veterans are testing the youngsters in the Philadelphia lineup. Messier, along with the former Islander Billy Carroll. Kerr against Messier, offensive left circle with 32 seconds remaining on the Flyer power play. Philadelphia on the playoffs, 16 for 76. That's a little better than 1 in 5. Not breathtaking. Dvorak with the puck, coming on the near side, working it up on the left wing at the Oiler line. Is cut off. The puck kicks back to his partner, Thomas Eriksson, who right wings it into the zone. Sinisalo can't handle it. Lowe flips it up through its center. Eriksson knocks it down. Back passes to Zezel. Zezel through on the right wing, and Kerr kicks it back into his own zone to Eriksson. Up ice, a right wing pass. That eludes everyone. The penalty is over. Fuhr takes it. Gives it away. Eriksson in front. The pass bounces off a body and out break the Oilers. That's Billy Carroll up on the right wing to Coffey. Coffey tries to get past Howe, who deftly pickpockets the puck off his stick with his own stick and sends it up to Sinisalo from Eriksson. Sinisalo down that right wing side. Angle shot from the goal line to the left of Fuhr. He just lets it bounce off his pad as he had the post covered. And up ice down come the Oilers, and it is Jackson dumping it in. The Oilers try to play it in on the net. Kevin McClellan, it bounces off the chest of Lindbergh. Bounced out to the point. Jackson then gives it away to Ron Sutter. Cross ice on the near side. They poke it through Yaroslav Puzar, but Randy Gregg a wraparound from his right to the left boards and up through its center ice. Crosman taps the pass. Pocket is bumped, but the Flyers still have control of it at center ice. Trying to bump it into the zone. Then it kicks back to the defense, where Crosman goes left side to Howe and over the red line. And in through off the stick of Pocket. Fuhr tries to tap it off. Pocket knocks it down. Left wing corner tries to center. Hayes cut off, and now McClellan breaks it up on the left side at center. Too far for Puzar, and Crosman takes it, reels off to Howe. Howe, a nice move as he's bumped by Anderson. Anderson was knocked down in the zone as Messier pokes it into the offensive left corner and chases. It's wound around to the near side. Lindstrom tries to cut off Derek Smith, and then the puck is swept all the way down the ice by the Flyers. But in on goaltender Fuhr, so play continues. You've just joined us, 9:15 gone. Oh! Almost a careless play by Huddy as he tried to stick handle past two Flyers in front of the net. But here they come. Anderson and Messier over the line against Hospodar and Mars. Into the right wing corner. Anderson around behind the net is buried by Mars, and that allows Poulin to carry up on the right side at center ice for Philadelphia. At the Oiler line. Down into the right wing corner. Puck's in front. Shovel pass. Off a skate at the left side of the net. Flyers try to keep it active, but no, it's tied up by the Oilers. And 18 remaining in a sparklingly played first quarter period. There is no score.
Anybody that expected a cautious start in the first period, it certainly hasn't been that. The Flyers have outshot the Oilers 8-5, and Poulin leading the rush down the outside. Gets around. The defenseman just cuts back in, has control of the puck, dumps it out in front of the net. The puck is there. The Flyers are going to the net, but they've got 2 or 3 Oilers around them as well as they're jamming away at the side of the net. But the Flyers key in the past has been very aggressive forechecking. When they're doing that, they're successful. Nice inside move by Dave Poulin to get past the defenseman out there, Paul Coffey, and that puck was deflected off of Charlie Huddy. That had Grant Fuhr not dragged that last pad of his, Flyers might have had the first goal of the game.
Offensive right circle face-off Philadelphia. We've got Derek Smith with Tocchet and Ron Sutter as Tockett's asked permission from the referee to go change his stick. Defenseman is Crosman along with Howe. And the Oilers go with Krushelnyski, Gretzky, and Mr. Curry. And defensively Fogelin with Kevin Lowe.
This line has been out there quite a bit for Philadelphia, Sutter, Smith, and Tocchet, mainly because Gretzky's been out there a lot.
Penalty apiece, 8-5 shots Philadelphia, no score. Ron Sutter will take the draw against Mike Krushelnyski. Leon Stickle will handle the drop as the linesman. He's there with his partner Ron Finn, and the referee Andy Van Hellemond now asking people to get out of the circle. And let's see what happens. As soon as he moves away, they go right back where they were, as Bobby always says. And they drop the puck anyway.
You fight for every inch and every foot.
But see, they're all easing in. Puck is dropped. The Oilers take it around behind the net to Kevin Lowe. Peeks right, peeks left. Now he's got a man on the right side. Fogelin gives him the puck, and Fogelin up ice through to Gretzky at center, finds Curry over the line. Look out! Bullet shot! Boy, that went right over the top of the net, and you can't believe the velocity of that shot. And it whistled right by the elbow of Philadelphia's Lindbergh. Now around to the near side. Mark Howe has it. Looks to play it up at center ice. Cut off with Derek Smith as it goes deep around behind the Oiler net. Poked up on the right side by the goaltender, and outletted at center ice on the far wing for Gretzky, but Crosman cuts him off. Feeds left to Howe, still retreating in the zone. Top of the right circle pass cross ice to Crosman, back to Howe, and now will bring it up on the right side. Threw over the line to Ron Sutter. Had a drop pass for Tocchet. Puck is tapped down behind the Oiler net, and Kerr with that quick stick breaks it free. Now the Oilers break out, and the Flyers give ground. Up the middle, Gretzky over the line. He's got a man there. Pass, and it's stripped through, and unable to handle it. And there's a hold by Gretzky on Philadelphia's Howe as the Flyers fail to get out. It's dumped near corner by Jackson. Philadelphia's check. Nice steal by Gretzky. Up the middle. Look outside. Pick save by Lindbergh on the bullet from straight away by the Oilers' Dave Hunter.
Wow, Harry Curry was dumped at the side of the net, not allowed to stand in front there, and then he was had a couple of shots taken by the Flyers. They want to make sure that those high-powered guys do not get that shot at that loose puck. Good shot, but a nice save by Lindbergh, and Curry laying on the ground after he was dumped by the Flyer defense. And of course, when he got up, he got hit again by Sutter, and of course, a little push by Derek Smith. But Gretzky just picked Mark Howe's pocket. Howe was trying to use his feet to try and make sure that Gretzky couldn't take the puck or lift his stick. But the puck bounced through his feet. Gretzky was able to get that shot, or pardon me, that pass right over to Lumley, whose shot was right on.
A comment about Curry's previous shot.
Long as they don't hit you, you never worry about it.
McClellan on with Lindstrom. Puck in the Flyers' defensive right circle. There's a scramble for the puck. Nice check there by Philadelphia as Kevin McClellan has a bear hug on Peter Zezel. The Oilers' Lindstrom in the corner around behind the Philadelphia net. Attempts to center. He's cut off, and all of a sudden we're getting a little bumping and grinding. Dave Hunter along his own offensive left boards is tied up by Carson and squeezed an additional by, now we got a fight. We got Kevin McClellan and Ed Hospodar.
They're going at it pretty good, too. I'll say they are. They're two big guys, and they've got that one arm free, and they're whacking away pretty good. You wonder an awful lot of times when they've got that helmet on, exactly how many, if any, are landing. And they're landing on the helmet anyway. All right, it happened away from the play.
8:45 remaining from the Spectrum. Oilers and Flyers scoreless.
Well, the penalties will come at the 11:15 mark, and I think it'll just be majors for fighting because there's nothing up on the board yet, so I'm sure it's just going to be a 5-minute major for each player. But it happened, as we said, away from the play. And
Ed Hospodar Flyers, each a major, 5 minutes for fighting.
Hospodar with 40 minutes on the playoffs, and McClellan with 39.
There's action in the corner where the Brad Marsh was tied up, and all of a sudden Hospodar gave McClellan a good shot in behind the net. And that was the initial body check that started as McClellan was going all the way after Hospodar, pushing and shoving at him. All of a sudden they turn around and face one another, which is away from the play. And that's where it started, and that's where it finished, except for the drawing that's going on in the penalty box.
Penalties are even at 2 coincidental majors, so they'll skate at full strength on the ice. Krushelnyski, Gretzky, and Curry out, along with Coffey and Huddy. Flyers counter with Tocchet, Derek Smith, and Ron Sutter, with Crossman and Howe. Now Krushelnyski against Derek Smith as Ron Sutter was crossed out of the circle. Now they're arguing about sticks. Now the sticks are down, and there's the droppage of a puck. Back to the point. Coffey in toward the net, partially touched and deflected wide by Krushelnyski, and the Flyers slap it up to Tocchet, and he'll come up on the left side at center. Hits Derek Smith in the skate. He takes it over the line, swings wide to the left. At the hash marks, is cut off nicely, but the Flyers pick it off. Up the middle, backhand shot. High Ron Sutter on a great feed, and the Oilers cover that one up off the save by Flyersguy at the center ice. But gee, the Flyers are making plays in the zone very crisply. We have a two-line offside pass coming out of the Flyers zone across the center ice red line.
What has happened is the Flyers have been able to really utilize that man coming in late. Edmonton has been collapsing in their zone and not really picking up that guy coming in late, or at least not being aware of it. And that's what's given the Flyers a couple of their good opportunities in the first period. That time it was Ronnie Sutter getting the backhand shot that Fuhr made the save on, but Derek Smith had a similar opportunity on a pass from Howe.
Well, we wanted to know who was going to be put against Messier, and it is Davey Poulin as he's out again, along with Murray Craven and Brian Propp. Marchand with Eriksson, the puck in the Oilers zone. A pass blocked through the goal of the slot area, and accidentally cleared to center ice off a deflection, and then bounces off Thomas Eriksson's stick back in the Oilers zone on an inadvertent offside. 8:05 remaining in the scoreless first period. Penalties even at 2, and the Flyers out shooting Edmonton 9-6.
Puck's really bouncing out there, which makes passing very difficult, as well as stick handling. You have to be overly cautious.
Again, it's Napier with Messier and Anderson. Play deep in the Oilers zone right on Lindbergh. Eriksson on a giveaway to the far side. Flyers have to get it out. It's kick free. Messier will pick it up. Going to try to come right into the circle. Straight away, right on in. Fogle in his shot. The block, another shot. There's an open man in front. And it's cleared away. The Flyers still looking for it. There's a poke shot to Amelia players. Hits the leg and goes off the Craven. Well, outlets through to Propp and backhands from the right side at the Oiler line. In along Fuhrer's left. He drops it off for Fogelin. His pass is blocked by Napier in the Oilers zone. Napier out with Anderson and Messier. He flips it to center ice. Flyers pick it off up the middle. Zezel and a breakaway. Shot! And Fuhr beat him. That was the first clear, great opportunity for Philadelphia. Zezel in all alone. And Grant Fuhr keeps the game scoreless. Puck in the Flyers zone. Now around to the far side is really hit on a check by Dave Lumley as the Flyers throw at the center ice. Puck loose. Zezel now challenging Yaroslav Puzar. Feeds back in the Oilers zone. Out there is Jackson along with Randy Gregg. Puck up for grabs at center ice. Tapped back by Billy Carroll into the Oilers zone. Carroll out there along with Lumley and Puzar. Puck around to the far side. Crosman tries to pick it off. He's cut off. The Oilers flip it off the far side. Flyers keep it in. Oilers take it back, and finally Puzar slides it to center ice. There's a glove laying in the Flyers' offensive right corner. And it appears to be a Philadelphia glove as Marsh at center ice waits for Patterson to come out and then flips it high in the air. Fuhr grabs with the right side and glove and outlets on the left wing, and here come the Oilers misfiring at center ice. Kerr back to Dvorak. Dvorak away from Gretzky, bounces it into center. Hunter tries to cut off, and it rolls through past the defenseman of the Oilers into the zone. But Randy Gregg is there to give it away. Todd Bergen into the right wing corner. Round behind the net, centering pass. Back to Howe. We're going to have a penalty. And there's a chip shot still up for grabs in the Oilers zone. Finally taken off by Edmonton, and the penalty called. It'll come at 13:59. Flyer power play coming up. There is no score in the game.
Willie Lidstrom, I believe, is the one who will be picking up the penalty for the Edmonton Oilers, and it's either interference or holding. I think it's cross-checking, Bobby, because he knocked down the Flyer in front of the net. You're right, it is cross-checking, Eddie, and that'll give the Flyers their second power play opportunity. Their first one lasted about 30-some-odd seconds. But Lidstrom here, the cross-checking minor, it'll come at 13:59, and it happened right in front as he took down Lindsey Carson, knocked him right into Grant Fuhr.
The Oilers now have 3 of the game's 5 penalties.
Zezel had a good opportunity just coming right up the middle, one-on-one with the goaltender. Fuhr comes out a little bit, starts backing in, makes that big save as Zezel almost shot it right at him. And Fuhr just looked him eyeball to eyeball and made the save.
Second Flyer power play, technically 0 for 1 on the night. During the regular season in the 3 games, the Flyers were 4 for 12 against Edmonton. Kerr, Bergen, Sinisalo. There's Kerr right in front. And there's going to be another Oiler penalty as Kerr was held. And held, they're going to get an extra man out there. Back to Sinisalo. Drive. Just tickles wide. In front it comes again to the near side when Messier touches up. 2-man advantage Philadelphia.
Well, there's two players right on Tim Kerr, Wayne Gretzky as well as Charlie Huddy. And I think Andy Van Hellemond pointed at Charlie Huddy. But Kerr just tucked it by Huddy, who he couldn't really get it, and then Huddy just reached out and hooked him with his stick, pulling Kerr down. So he'll pick up the hooking minor, and it'll come at 14-13. So the Flyers have a great opportunity here to open up the scoring. Well, this is where you've got to do something on your power play. You get a 2-man advantage for at least 1 minute and 46 seconds with Huddy getting that extra minor. This is when you need your power play to do something for you. You can really put you into an early lead and set the tone for the game and possibly the series. That's the man that can do it for you. Timmy Kerr, 21 power play goals this year with a total of 54.
Huddy with 13 playoff penalty minutes. The Oilers now 4 of the Game 6 penalties. Hooking at 14-13. Flyers will have a 2-man advantage for 1 minute 46. And they'll go with Howe, Crosby, Kerr, Bergen, and Sinisalo. Messier is out there, and he gets the puck and will send it down the ice. Now off goes Messier, and on comes Jari Kurri, along with Fogelin and Lowe. Flyers up the middle. They want to penetrate the zone and then set up. Now Crosby does just that. Left side to Howe. Back to Crosby. Bullet shot. Didn't get it all. Sinisalo now works along the offensive right corner. Gets away from Kurri. Gets the puck back along the far side. Straight out to Howe. Straight away to Crosby. Drive right on. The rebound still scrambled for. Kerr takes a poke at it. And it's kicked back to the point to Crosby. Crosby left side to Howe. Howe into the near side. Unable to handle it is Bergen. And then Fuhrer pokes it up in the air. The Oilers try to clear out. Howe blocks it at the left point. He's there up the middle. Takes the shot near side. Bergen open man. Sand on. Another shot. Another shot. They score!
Exactly what I was talking about. You got to do something. You have the 2-man advantage in the finals, and that's exactly what the Flyers did. Howe got the pass off the side, dumps it out in front. Lucas Sinisalo's right there to lift it up over top of the goaltender on the second try to give the Flyers a 1-0 lead. That was a fourth shot on goal by Philadelphia. Bergen sent it over to Kerr, who shot one shot. Sinisalo got a second. And then he picked it up and got that fourth shot in up over top of him. Or rather the third shot of this succession, but they're fourth on the power play. And then Edmonton was really slow in reacting to getting over to Sinisalo. Sinisalo had all the time in the world to have that puck shot up over their goaltender.
Kerr and Howe the assist at 15:05. The Flyers still on the power play. 58 seconds remaining on the penalty to Huddy. Wrap around to the offensive left corner. Sinisalo in there with Howe. Howe behind the net is rubbed out by Messier. Then Jackson will flip it up to the point. Crosby tries to contain, does. Has a man at the far side. Will hold it straight away. Howe with a drive, but blocked down. The Oilers chip it up along the near side to center ice. Crosby will drive it back the other way, trying to make the rush up ice. On the near side is Dave Hunter. He's at the Flyer line. Cut off, tries to tie up the puck, but Kerr digs it out. Crosses far side, and out comes Peter Zezel at center ice. 25 seconds. Zezel just overskates the puck. The Oilers back to the point, and we finally have a delay offside whistle by the linesman on the far boards, Leon Stickle.
Bergen and Kerr pick up the assists on that goal by Sinisalo. So Tim Kerr's appearance on the power play has really paid off. Even at their second opportunity, but their first full time. 20 seconds remaining on Huddy's hooking minor.
4:07 left first period. Flyers will go with Craven and prop the wings for Davey Poland. Defensively, Eriksson and Dvorak. And the Oilers out there as Flyers. Eriksson penetrates the right side into the slot. Fogelin was right there, but has skated off the puck. Flyers jumping on it. Back to the point. Eriksson toward the net, and Fuhrer slides out as he had no one in front. And Poland pushed off to his right, but wanted to grab the loose puck. With 8 seconds remaining on the Oilers penalty, 3:55 left first period, 1-0 Philadelphia. Flyers on their third power play.
A lot of times you don't have a play. The easiest, the best thing to do is to direct the puck towards the net, and that's exactly what Craven did, but the Flyers were not loose. were not able to penetrate the area in front of Grant Fuhr, the Oilers goaltender. The Flyers at this time are out shooting the Oilers 15-8 and leading on the scoreboard with a power play goal by Sinisalo, his 6th of the playoffs, 1-0.
Again, Poulin now, but with Bergen in front, Crosman and Howe. Oilers getting a brief delay as Messier wants to change sticks. He's on with Gretzky and Lowell with Fogelin. Offensive right circle face-off Philadelphia. Davey Poulin had that big short-handed goal here in the clincher last Thursday against the Quebec Nordiques. The Oilers get it around to the near side, and Gretzky backhands it down the ice. That'll do it as Huddy is out, but the Flyers do score on the two-man advantage. At center ice, they poke it through at the line. Poulin is there. Angle shot left, blocked off by Fogelin. Right in front, right there was Philadelphia. Prop has an open net. Oh, and he was stoned as he got a great deflection, and here comes Gretzky up in center ice, along with Curry and Krushelnyski, but offside. There's the big winger, Krushelnyski.
And you got the back checkers back as the Flyers did that time. The defensemen stand up the blue line a little bit and force the play. And when you're able to do that, a lot of times that one extra move, that one extra gypsy do with the blue line, will cost an offside. But again, the Flyers had a good opportunity. The puck was just going out in front of the net. All of a sudden just bounces back. Propp is alone up in front of the net trying to jam it home with a backhand, but Grant Fuhr, the goaltender, was able to come across quickly with Gretzky getting back into the picture to take the loose puck away from Brian Propp.
Philadelphia, Ron Sutter with Derek Smith in pocket. Crosman and Howe against Curry, Gretzky, and Krushelnyski with Coffey and Huddy. Flyers get the draw. Howe backhands it off the arm of the linesman on the far side. Ron Finn into the Oilers zone. Huddy around from Coffey up on the right side. Curry through. Krushelnyski can't handle it. Gets it into the zone. Into the left wing corner as he got the regain. Tries to set up from behind the net. And a great check by Crosman takes him right out of the play. And Ron Sutter will lead the charge at center. Open man on the far wing. Nice block of the pass by the Oilers. Over the line, Krushelnyski as he tried to go from back to forehand. Lost the puck into center ice. Ron Sutter has it there, and then it's chipped by Derek Smith. Up the middle is shot by Derek Smith. As the Oilers, really careless in their own angles, gave that one away, and Derek Smith unloaded.
Well, we've talked about the Oilers. If you're playing against them as the Flyers are, you're going to get your scoring opportunities. If you can capitalize on them, it makes the game an awful lot easier because they will make mistakes. They will give the opportunity to turnovers, and Smith was right there. The puck was loose at the top of the circle. He unloaded that shot, but goaltender Grant Fuhr was way out past his goal crease, taking the angle away from Smith, making that save for the Oilers.
Joe Patterson got 3 goals, 4 assists in the series against Quebec. Is on with Zezel and Sinisalo, who has the Flyer two-man advantage goal, the only one of the game, and out there is Hospodar with Mark. Oilers slip up ice, and Lumley in pursuit. Lindbergh looks, will come out himself, and fired off the right boards to center. Sinisalo was bumped by Jackson, tied up just in center ice, about 3 feet outside the Flyer blue line along their right wing for the stoppage. 2:42 remaining first period. We'll be back with Game 2, Thursday night, 7:30 on the radio network in Prism.
We talk about plays that goaltenders made. Kelly Lindbergh was out beyond his crease, got the puck out, and that can help your defenseman. Sinisalo's had big goals from Flyers, winning goals, and he's picked up 6 in the playoffs so far.
He's had 2 power play goals. That was the second, and 3 game winners. Flyers, Lindbergh, there's a careless outlet pass the Flyers weren't prepared for, but they cover up and get it through on the right wing at center ice, and it's fed by Poulin off the right boards behind Fuhr. Fuhr outlets off the glass. Lumley bumps off his man, and then it's kept in now along the near side. Craven pivots up the slot. We're going to have a penalty against Dave Lumley for pulling down Brian Propp. And it comes at 17:42. The Oilers' 5th penalty of the first period, and the Flyers' 4th power play coming up.
Lumley's going to pick up a 2-minute minor for hooking. Craven had possession of the puck, just spinning around, getting it back out of the slot area. Lumley just hook dropped down to the ice, so the Flyers will have their 4th power play opportunity of this first period. Lumley picked up a 2-minute minor for hooking. Time of that penalty is 17 minutes and 42 seconds of the first period. The Flyers lead the Oilers on a power play goal by Sinisalo, 1-0.
Lumley 29 playoff penalty minutes. And the Flyers will go with Curry, Sinisalo, Bergen, Howe, and Crosman. And they keep the puck along the right side. Howe is challenged in there by Messier. Backhands it around behind the net. Sinisalo's cut off. That allows Fogelin to rip it up on the near side, bouncing it to center ice. Now Messier puts pressure on. On the far side is the Dave Hunter. The Flyers just dump it to center. Picked off by Lowe, and he drives it. Instead of down the ice into the penalty box, center ice far side. Flyers will get an offensive zone face-off with 1:59 remaining in the first period. Any surprises, Mr. Van Imp, through the first 18 minutes?
I'm surprised that Edmonton's taken 4 penalties. I mean, given Flyers 4 power play opportunities as well. So I'm surprised, really, in the first game, the first period, the first game, how wide open it is. Flyers have outshot the Oilers 17-8 with the assistance of those power plays. But I guess that's what you expect from Edmonton, is a wide open, freewheeling, exciting brand of hockey.
Yes, if you up, there's a play by Kerr, fighting toward the net, and finally is bumped off by the Oilers, and up ice on the near side comes Billy Carroll. He's out there with the Flyers take it away. Prop now. Pivots off to the near side. Crosman knocks it down, and Howe controls. Back to Crosman in the Philadelphia zone. Up the middle, Zezel can't handle it, but he touched it, and it rolls over the goal line to keep it onside. And Kevin Lowe, a wraparound. Flyers read it, but it deflects off the stick of Brian Propp, and then is iced by the Oilers as they bring out Anderson and Messier now with Coffey and Huddy. 1:09 remaining on the advantage. Howe loses it at center ice. The Oilers kick it clear and drive it deep into the Philadelphia zone along the near side. Messier will put pressure on Crosman. Crosman stops. Messier scoots by the outlet near side to Howe. A give and go, and Crosman up the middle of the ice. Knocked down by Propp, and into the zone comes Philadelphia's forward. Beautiful pass to Kerr, and his first shot from the right circle is wide as he one-timed it. Philadelphia keeping it along the hash mark, trying to get it to Propp in front. Blocked off, so they go behind for Kerr. Kerr bumps off Huddy. Tries to take him off the play, but then Huddy is able to get it to the point. Beautiful effort by Thomas Eriksson to keep it in. And then Fuhr clears it off the glass. Poulin knocks it down. Offensive hash marks, left circle Philadelphia. Finally taken off by Coffey, and he finds an opening cross ice and drills it off the neutral boards and down into the Philadelphia zone. 20 seconds left. Flyers through on the right wing. Propp penetrates against Jackson. Offensive corner. Skated off. Jackson takes the puck, wheels it up on the far side, and Gretzky out there now with Curry, and Gretzky drives it to center. 25 seconds left in the period, 8 seconds on the penalty. Flyers have had little going for them on this advantage, and then as the puck is outletted by Dvorak from his zone, Ron Sutter knew he was offside, tried to refrain from touching and couldn't resist, and we get a stoppage, face-off in the Flyer end with 3 seconds remaining on the Oiler penalty, 21 seconds remaining the first period, and Gretzky is out there to take this key face-off as the Oilers hope for an offensive thrust to tie this game at the intermission. Gretzky, Curry, along with Gregg and Jackson. Ron Sutter, Derek Smith, Pawtucket, and the Flyers clear. And out of the penalty box comes Dave Lumley. Puck cross ice into the Oilers zone. Curry back to his own right hash marks, and then Jackson gets it up to center. Howe cuts it off, misses it. It bounces through. Flyers chip it along the near side and into center ice. We have 4 seconds left in the period, and we're going to come to the end of the opening period of Game 1. It's the Flyers 1 and the Oilers no score. Edmonton with 5 of the game's 7 penalties. They were outshot 17-8. We come to the end of the opening period. Flyers 1, Oilers nothing, and we'll be back with Bobby and his guests downstairs after this. The referee, Andy Van Helleman from Winnipeg. Ron Finn, the linesman, with Leon Stickle, both natives of Toronto. And the trio together, a composite of 39 years of officiating in the National Hockey League. Here's a Stanley Cup special for all of our Prism and WIP viewers and listeners. It's a white Flyers coach's cap available only at Showcase stores. These caps regularly sell for $10.95, but Prism subscribers along with IP listeners can obtain one for only $6.49 during the Stanley Cup Finals. There are now 9 Showcase stores conveniently located throughout the area, including ones at the Granite Run Mall and at Roosevelt Mall. We'll see you for Game 2 here on Thursday night, 7:30, the Radio Network and the Prism. And then next Saturday at Edmonton, the third game on the Radio Network and Channel 29 at 8 Eastern Time. The following Tuesday, it will be again Game 4 at the Oilers at 8 o'clock. Let's see, that would be 9 o'clock Eastern Time on the Radio Network and Channel 29. And then the third game the following Thursday in Edmonton, the same time and station. Craven is out along with Lindsey Carson and Propp. Hospodar with Marsh And it is Napier, Anderson, and Messier for the Oilers. And defensively, Fogelin with Kevin Lowe. The Oilers around to the near side to Napier. Napier looks up the middle. Pass cut off by Craven, who blocked off the middle, but the Oilers take it back. And Lowe will lead the charge. 80-footer on Lindbergh, but offside by about 2 long strides down that right side. Mark Messier. If you've just joined us, the power play goal, Philadelphia with a 2-man advantage in the final 5 minutes of period number 1. Eddie Hospodar had the first bit of temper in the opening period, midway through in a 5-minute major with Kevin McClelland of the Oilers. But that's been the one really display of short fuses. The Oilers still with Napier, Anderson, and Messier, and the Flyers go Patterson with Sinisalo and Zezel. Puck slid into the Philadelphia zone by the Oiler defense. Marsh there, pressure put on by Anderson, and Marsh just turns it high in the air, drives it up ice, far side into the Oiler zone, and we have a touch-up, and I think it's going to be a 2-line offside pass against Philadelphia. Sinisalo not probably realizing over that long distance the play emanated from Marsh, so we have to stop it. John Muckler with the glasses and the gray hair. Used to play and coach in the Eastern League here at the Cherry Hill Arena. He didn't coach there, but he played there. He's the chief assistant and the heir apparent to the coach Glenn Sather, and general manager is on the far side of Muckler. Teddy Green, who is third coach, is up in the particular press box areas on the phone. Murray Craven, brilliant rookie season for Philadelphia. Takes the draw against Messier. 30 seconds into the period. No scoring here. 1-0 Flyers. A nice outlet, and Sinisalo has a long stride. He's going in. Shoots. Scores. Well, I think he's got no goal because the net was dislodged, and Andy Van Hellemond is saying beseechingly, I don't have any choice. And with the goal, Sinisalo spinning wide to Fuhr's right, had the net, but Lowe slid in and knocked it off its moorings, and you have no choice there as the shot went, hit the net, but concurrent to the dislodging, and the goal is disallowed. Sinisalo, Dick Fuhr had him down, and had he unloaded maybe a split second sooner, we might have, although in a second look at it, that puck was in. Well, we'll have a stoppage anyway, and we'll have a left circle shot or face-off Philadelphia.
The puck didn't go in, Gene. What happened? It hit the outside of the net. Powell was out, or pardon me, Sinisalo waited and waited, and just as he shot, you could see it hitting the back part of the net. Then it was Kevin Lowe knocking it off its moorings, but the puck did not go inside the net. That's why it's no goal.
Pardon me while I wipe my glasses. Andy Van Hellemond, of course, had that puck gone in and been disallowed because of the dislodged moorings. You might say, well, that's a tough break, but on the other hand, it may have saved Kevin Lowe from injury. Andy Van Hellemond, the only referee to wear the helmet this year, and I don't know. I think he's arguing, Marsh, that Lowe dislodged it maybe deliberately and there should be a penalty, but I don't think that will stand, as Lowe dove perhaps to block the second shot. But after all of the circling and questioning and some cleaning of debris on the ice, and Glenn Sather talking to his team about, hey, come on, guys, let's get going, we'll have the offensive left circle face-off in the Oilers zone for Philadelphia. And the Oilers have Krushelnyski out along with Gretzky and Curry, with Huddy and Paul Coffey. Flyers will go with Derek Smith, Hockett, and Ron Sutter with Crossman and Howe. 1-0, Philadelphia, early second period, 39 seconds through. An indeterminate delay because of the dislodging of the net, but it seems we're going to get going now. Ron Finn, 44 years of age, his 14th year in the league, will handle the dropping of the puck between Big Mike Krushelnyski of the Oilers and Philadelphia's Ron Sutter. I think the fans at the other end thought the puck went in the net, or thought there should have been a penalty, and this final is only a face-off. Now Tocchet and Huddy are spearing one another, and they're inside the circle, and it didn't take long for tempers to start to show here.
What happens is the defensive player tries to hook the stick of the offensive player and also tries to prevent him from getting through, and sometimes you get an awful lot of jabbing in there, and that can really frustrate a lot of players and also upset them.
Of course, they're supposed to be on either side of those hash marks and not between them. That separation is supposed to prevent that from happening. Sutter and Krushelnyski, offensive left circle. Right back to Howe. Screen shot, and Fuhrer never saw it as it went by the long side at the ice. And Gretzky outlets off the near side. Coffey couldn't find the handle. Krushelnyski does at the Flyer line. Checked off by Ron Sutter, and the Flyers then scale it through into center ice. Cut off there by Huddy. Turns back the other way and drives it into the Philadelphia zone, but off the glass and into the seats, far corner, and we'll have a neutral zone face-off.
Most of the time, Glenn Sather uses Charlie Huddy and Paul Coffey with Gretzky, Curie, and Krushelnyski. He didn't team them up that often in the first period, but looks like he might get back to that now.
Jari Kurri with 18 goals, just one shy of the playoff record set by Philadelphia's Reggie Leach in 1975-76. Coffey the draw, far side, give and go, and they backhand, and there goes Coffey in front, shot. Oh, good save by goaltender Lindbergh on his biggest test as the puck comes to center. Ron Sutter avoids the check by Krushelnyski, and Howe leads the charge. He's going to get a right circle whistler. Right in front, he goes to shoot, and then he lost the puck, and then the rebound bounced off the stick of Derek Smith. And here comes Gretzky down the right side, one-on-one with Crosman. Man in front, shot wide by Coffey, and that was an open net. There goes Gretzky in front, shot by Kurri is blocked off. Oh my, the net becomes dislodged as Derek Smith bumped Krushelnyski off the crossbar. But my oh my, the big scorer Coffey missed an open net.
Boy, and it happened after a great opportunity by Philadelphia down the other end. Grant Fuhrer made a big save on Mark Howe, and it just shows you the explosiveness of this Edmonton Oilers club. They're so quick to go from defense to offense, and what happened is Howe making that good move, coming right around. That's when Grant Fuhrer poke-checked the puck away from Howe, and after that, that's when Coffey missed the open net.
1:31 gone in a scoreless second period for Philadelphia. The Flyers leading 1-0. Puck drop, play is on. Marsh off the far boards, tries to clear it out, hits a flaw in the glass or one of those chinks, and fits back in the Philadelphia zone, but then the Flyers are able to get it up ice. Jackson a wrap around to the near side, trying to contain it as Zezel, and fails, and it slips past him, and Hospodar all the way down. Kevin McClellan going to put pressure on Hospodar, loses it. Boom, takes a check, but now Marsh will outlet it off the glass to center. Play on at center ice, and then as the Flyers interrupt the Edmonton pass off Zezel's stick, it comes into the near side, and whoop, we got a battle here.
Jackson, Joe Patterson said something to McClellan.
Here we go. Hospodar's going with Jackson here now.
Jackson threw a punch at Joe Patterson. And that's what's happening now. Patterson's trying to get loose on McClellan as they're right against the glass. Boy, I'll tell you, this is the second fight by Hospodar.
Hey, those are two big boys that are standing there toe-to-toe when they get their arms free. They're really swinging around. Patterson's over along the boards, and it looks like he may be getting loose now as well. Got a hold of one of the Oilers. He's ramming up against the glass.
That's Kevin McClellan.
Kevin McClellan, he's got his hands full, but now what happened is Patterson's got his sweater up over his head and come back down. When that happens, you're at a big disadvantage. But boy, these are big guys, and they want at one another.
So strong. Now McClellan's got his right hand loose. Patterson's a left-hander.
You get big guys like this pushing and shoving and struggling with one another. It really takes an awful lot of energy out of them, as Hospodar and Jackson are already in the penalty box, and McClellan and also Patterson are off to the side, but they've been separated by the linesmen.
Again, 1:59 gone into the second period from the Spectrum. Stanley Cup Finals, Game 1. Flyers 1, Oilers no score.
This is something I didn't expect. I didn't think it'd be this type of game.
I didn't either, Eddie, but McClellan and Hospodar came together. Patterson came right over to McClellan. That's when Jackson threw a punch with the gloves on and hit Patterson. Then Hospodar came and went at it with Don Jackson, and then McClellan and Joe Patterson were in it.
Is this a means of getting through Glenn Sather's club alive?
I don't think so. I think this was already started the first period as Hospodar and McClellan went at it, but it just started as the players came together, and all of a sudden they're looking for trouble, and trouble finds them, and there's four of them in a bunch, and they're all pushing and shoving at one another. Hospodar's right there.
And Flyers penalty number 28, Joe Patterson.
And Jackson and Hospodar square off. The Flyers will pick up a power play opportunity because Jackson picks up 2 minutes for elbowing, plus the 5-minute major for fighting with Hospodar. Hospodar, only the 5-minute major. Joe Patterson of the Flyers and Kevin McClellan of the Oilers will pick up majors for fighting as well. It all comes at 1:59, so out of all that, the Flyers will have their 5th power play.
So Hospodar now with 45 minutes in the playoff year. McClellan with 44. Don Jackson now has 34. And Joe Patterson of the Flyers, 56.
The minor penalty assessed to Don Jackson will be served by the Marine Dave Lumley.
Dave Lumley is going to be serving the minor, assessed to Don Jackson. So McClellan, again with 44, and Jackson picking up 7 minutes. Now has, as we mentioned, not 34, but 36. Okay, Flyers now on their 5th power play. They are only 1 for 4, and they got that when they were skating with a 2-man advantage. Up ice comes Howe along with Kerr, Zezel, Sinisalo, and Crossman. Pure gets the puck out to the far side, tries to clear out. In there for the Oilers, they have Mark Hunter. Nice check on the net, but Gretzky, or make that Zezel behind the net with Sinisalo. Zezel comes out, has his stick held by Lowe. Still gets it to the near side. The Oilers pick it off and ice it. What was that O about?
Well, I don't know. It looked awfully close to being a hook on Kevin Lowe.
There are now 12 penalties in the game, and the Oilers have 8. Up ice comes Philadelphia into the zone. Zezel holds up, he loses it, and Coffey's going to almost have a breakaway shorthanded. Now they play through to Messier. He's cut off beautifully by Howe, and the Flyers come up the middle, but that was very dangerous. Had Coffey been able to handle that bouncing, he's away. Puck in front, and Kurt trying to deflect it long side and wide. Bergen into the corner gives it away. Coffey has it blocked behind the net. Bergen comes out in front for a stopper. The Oilers take it away and then gain it back on the near side as Philadelphia toward the net. The Oilers clear it to the point. Flyers keep it in. Bergen from the right circle, fired wide. And there goes Messier up on that right side against Howe, and a foot race as it ricochets into the Flyers zone. Howe has it. Pivots, doesn't give it away, and there's a shot from the blue line by Curry. And Lindbergh got the right pad down to block that one off. Up ice comes Philadelphia. Bergen over the line with 25 seconds left on the power play. 3:30 going into the second period. The puck is dumped to center ice by Oilers. Cut off and taken back by Lowe. Tries to drive it up ice, finding either Curry or Gretzky, but dumps it all the way down behind the Philadelphia net. 10 seconds left on the power play. Flyers have been given the opportunities, only cashed in so far in 1 of 5. Flipped into the corner. The Oilers take it and drive it down the ice, and that'll do it. As Dave Lumley, serving the minor call to Don Jackson, is out. Team's at full strength. Flyers put into the Edmonton zone, and Lowe gets it out. Up for grabs, but Karen back in offside on Philadelphia with both Murray Craven and Brian Propp still in the zone. Penalty is over. Team's at full strength on the ice. 4:08 gone, second period. 1-0 Philadelphia.
But I don't like to see in the power play opportunities the Flyers not able to capitalize a little bit more than they have. They've had 5 opportunities. They picked up the only goal of the game on the power play. But it usually happens in a game, in a playoff, in the finals, is there's even or up calls, and they will be forthcoming. You can bet your last dollar on that. With the Flyers having 5 power play opportunities to the Oilers 1. So when you get them, they're great, but you got to capitalize on them.
Carson, Sinisalo, and Zezel along with Crossman, Marsh now with Dvorak, and it's Hunter, Puzar on with Lumley. And defensively, they have Coffey on the near side with Huddy. Puzar tries to come out, blocked off, puck into the near circle. Sinisalo has the 1 goal, is cut off by Coffey, winds it around to his own right side, and Lumley's there to look to outlet the Carroll, but will carry it himself to center ice. Pass to checking of Lindsey Carson at the Flyer line. Swings wide to the left, he's going to get a backhand and then overskates the puck. Is bumped off, tries to center. Puzar takes it, then Lumley in front, and the Flyers take it away. Zezel looks to drive it up the middle, and here comes Sinisalo with Marsh. Over the line, pass blocked as they had 2 men open on that left side. Almost a steal by Philadelphia as the Oilers get it off the skate. Blocked off by the linesman. There's a play by Zezel with a drive. Good kick save in front by Pure, and he kept it away from Sinisalo, was open on the left side of the goalie. Rebound tied up behind the Oiler net. 4:55 gone, scoreless second period. 1-0 Flyers over the Edmonton Oilers.
Well, I want thing the Flyers have been able to do is to really break up that play at the blue line. This time Zezel got a good shot away on Fuhr. Tried to be very, very quick with that left pad to make the save, but another thing they have to make sure of is that they go to that net and keep going to that net so that they can drive there if there is a rebound to be had. But Grant Fuhr's been a very busy goaltender so far. He's faced 20 Flyers shots and only given up 1 goal in the first 25 minutes of play.
At the Spectrum, Philadelphia goes Propp, Craven, and Kerr along with Crossman and Howe. And it's Fogelin out with Lowe, with Messier, Anderson, and Napier up front for the Oilers. The Edmonton team wins the draw. Messier, who won 11 out of the 16 faceoffs he took in the first period, wins that one. Napier looks to outlet off to Fogelin, who'll come up on the right side at center, looking through for Anderson, but he's cut off nicely, and the Flyers chip it into the neutral zone. Foot race again. Craven's going to win it. He's going right on in. Backhander and low, and Fuhr beats him again. Oh my! Grant Fuhr is keeping the Oilers in the hockey game. Kerr is dragged down behind the net as the Oilers look to outlet up the middle. They have a man there. That's Napier coming at the Flyer line against Crosman. Oh, wants to shoot. Lost the shot. Now pivot. Tries to dump it in. Gets it back. Shoots it wide from the slot. And then Philadelphia's Propp on the far side is cut off. The Oilers roll it around to the near side. Crosman is there. Pivots away from the check of Napier. Pokes it loose to the far side. And the Flyers Howe outlets to Propp. He fails to come out again. Huddy with an angle shot. And Gretzky couldn't find the rebound on the near side off a deflection. And there's a breakthrough into the zone. Propp run right on in. Backhander is deflected wide. Kerr with an angle shot. Oh, and it hit the pipe on the short side. And off Grant Fuhr's leg. Here comes Coffey. Over the line. He's got a man into the near side. Krushelnyski. He couldn't handle the pass. Mike centers, and it's hacked away in front from Anderson. Krushelnyski trying to get it away. The Oilers wrapping it up to the point. Drive in there by Huddy. Knocked down. Huddy coming right in again. Cuts off his stick.
Look at this.
By Conklin, and we're going to get a penalty. Where against somebody in front of the Philadelphia net.
Anderson was sitting on top of Lindbergh, not letting him get up.
It'll be interesting to see what the call is here on this last play in front of the Flyers net. It will be. Here it goes.
Crosman's going off, not Anderson. We have 6:23 gone. Second period, 1-0 Philadelphia. They're both going off.
Crossman will pick up a minor, as well as Glenn Anderson of the Oilers, and it all happened with one thing you really want to do is get into a real shooting contest with this Oiler club. Crossman took down Anderson, who took out Kelly Lindbergh, who made a very smart play, just laid on top of the goaltender. He doesn't have to get up. He doesn't have to take that much of a time to get up, but he's going to get called for it, for an interference call on the part of Andy Van Hellemond. .6:23 is the time of the penalties rather. Crossman roughing, Anderson holding.
There have been 14 penalties thus far, 9 to Edmonton. Crossman now with 28 penalty minutes in the playoffs, and for Glenn Anderson, he has 28. They'll play at 4 skaters each out there. Flyers may regret later on not only 1 for 5 on the power play, but they've had 3 breakaways thwarted. Zezel in the first period, Craven, and then Propp moments ago.
When you get your chances, especially in the finals, you'd like to or you'd want to capitalize on them. And the Flyers only have done that once in the first period on the power play. Ilka Sinisalo.
I may have a bit of bad news. I do not see Dave Poulin on the bench, nor has he been in action in this second period. There's a play through. There goes Sinisalo, an angle shot, and Fuhr eats that one up as he was way off to Fuhr's right.
Flyers are getting the shots, but they're making it very they're making it very easy for them when you get it from the side. That goaltender loves to see that shot come from there, but as Gene mentioned, 3 breakaways, and the last one on Craven, Fuhr made a desperation dive and got the blade of his stick on it just to keep it out of the net. He's been outstanding.
Ron Sutter and Sinisalo up front for Philadelphia with Howe and Marsh, and it is Curry and Gretzky along with Coffey and Charlie Huddy. Ron Sutter, whose job will be to trail number 99. Offensive left circle face-off Philadelphia with 13:27 remaining second period. And of course now with that large ice out there and 2 less players, it opens up for Gretzky and Curry and Coffey. They dump in. Lindbergh sets it up. There's Howe. Oh, and skating by was Coffey, and that allows Howe to bring it unchallenged to center ice. Crisscrossing with Sinisalo. Sinisalo over the line on the off wing. Hold, puts it up the slot to Howe. Howe with a short side shot, and sure ate that one up easily. And then there's a good forechecking job on Huddy by Ron Sutter. Takes him off the puck. Ron Sutter is knocked down, cannot find the handle in the offensive left circle. And now it's outletted on the left, and here comes Coffey. He's got Gretzky on the far side. There he is, Wayne in the slot to Curry. Angle shot, and he didn't get all of it as he was off balance, and the puck was in close to the blade edge. Now Marsh. Nice move up at center ice. Pivots. Got 3 men around him. Then shovels through on the near side. The Flyers have a 2-on-1. Ron Sutter was going alone in front from Prop. And the pass was fumbled. In front it comes again to Prop. Wants to get it back to the point. Erickson with a drive. And that's an easy save as no screen in front. The Flyers now. There goes Gretzky down that left side. Dvorak is going to cut him off. Gretzky shot wide. As he feinted, then went wider and tried to hit the short side. But my, oh my, the Flyers, tremendous offense, but they're not cashing in. Over the line, play up the middle as Dvorak breaks offensive left corner. Now we'll come back, and it'll be Murray Craven picking it up. Angle play in front. That's blocked off. And the Oilers take it and want to come out with it and do not. And then there's Sinisalo, quite hooked by Messier as the puck tied up in the Flyers' offensive right corner. And Messier comes out of the jam-up and will start up the middle along with Lowe. And on the far side, Curry. Messier over the line, and it's cut off nicely by Philadelphia. Dvorak will take the charge up into the neutral zone. I think team will get a man back right now. They're at full strength on the ice as Crosman comes out, along with Anderson. And the Flyers working along the offensive left boards cannot handle the puck. Now the Oilers along the near boards. We played 8.5 minutes into the second period. 1-0 Philadelphia on a 2-man advantage. Goal by Philadelphia. There's a play, and oh my, Philadelphia almost had Napier get behind their defense, but just a nice cover-up at the last second by the Flyers. And Zezel comes up, he made the check, and he comes through the right wing to Kerr. Kerr, left side pass, Forster's in. Just cut off nicely by Napier. The Flyers are just scintillating offensively. There's a play in along the zone. The Flyers trying to get it, and a hand pass will be called between Marsh and Lindsey Carson, and with that, the parade comes out of the penalty box. McClellan and Jackson for the Oilers, and Philadelphia, Kopitar and Joe Patterson.
I'll tell you, the Flyers are thinking aggressive as far as forechecking is concerned, and they're going after the Oilers in their own zone. As a result, they're getting the good opportunities. They're out shooting the Oilers right now 24-10, and have been very aggressive in their forechecking. It's an easy way to play the game, and you can play it in the opposition's end.
They're out skating them right now as well, Eddie. They're much quicker than the Oilers in this period, and the Oilers are hooking and slowing them down a little bit, and they're beating them to all the loose pucks, and they're beating them back in the defensive zone and as well as in the offensive zone. That's something you would not expect, the Edmonton Oilers being outskated.
Flyers European connection is on defense. Sweden, Thomas Eriksson. Czechoslovakia's Miro Dvorak, and they've got Kerr on, along with Carson and Bergen. Puck in behind the Philadelphia net. Lindbergh steers it up on the near side, going in deep as Hunter. To the point, Jackson tries to keep it in and does. Flyers have 2 men hanging high at center ice. The Oilers keep it in. Nobody going to the net. Dvorak, a good check. Takes it off. McClellan rolls in front. Shot wide. Off the play by Lindstrom. Now Randy Gregg looks to play it in front. And that's shot wide. Back to the left point. And the shock troops are causing damage. They wind it behind the net. And it finally goes off to Dvorak. He's tied up. Bergen tries to dig it out. 3 Flyers, 2 Oilers behind the Philadelphia. Open man in front. And he couldn't handle it. Gregg on the feet from the corner. Now the Flyers breaking. Kerr along with Bergen, 2-on-1. Kerr going right on in. Drive. And the save by Kerr. And he's been brilliant, and we're going to have an Oiler penalty. And another Flyer power play. 10:09 to play in the second period. 1-0 Philadelphia.
Well, it is Randy Gregg this time who'll be getting called for a holding minor as he pulled down Lindsey Carson as the Flyers were breaking away 3-on-1. And again, it was Grant Fuhr making the save. Kerr taking the puck to the side and got the shot away. But Fuhr, as you see, way out on the angle, making that save as it hit him. But just after that, as Carson was going for the rebound, you see Randy Gregg right there tackling the Flyer forward. He'll pick up the minor, and it comes at 10:51. Holding will be the call.
Randy Gregg, 12 penalty minutes on the playoff here. The Oilers with 10 of the game's 15 penalties. The Flyers 1 for 5 on the advantage. Get their 6th pop. Home ice has not been pleasant for Philadelphia in the last 2 games on the power play. In the clincher against Quebec, they were 1 for 7. Tonight, 1 for 5 so far, 2 for 12 on home ice. Like Philadelphia, who had Tim Kerr back 4 in the Ranger series, is out there. On the left side, Prop. On the right side, Sinisalo, Crosman, and Howe. Now Kerr goes to the bench along with Marsh. And Keenan is explaining something to Tim Kerr, and surprised that Andy Van Helleman's allowing the delay. The Oilers will have Messier out with Gretzky and Coffey with Huddy. They think offense even when they're shorthanded. There's a windup on the near side. Gretzky looks to wheel it out. Blocked off through at center, and then Karam's off the skate all the way down. Messier will go after Howe, and Howe spins around past him and will start up through at center ice. Gets past on the left wing, Dave Hunter over the line, up the middle. Zezelin, shot, and a rebound overskated by Philadelphia. My, oh my, Grant Fuhr is absolutely keeping the Oilers alive, and let's see if it makes a difference later on. Play up the middle, dump toward the net, backhand shot, and not much on that one, and the Flyers got a little bit of a mix-up there, finally cleared out along the left wing at center to Kerr. With a minute 24, over the line on the left side to Zezel, wrap around, the Fuhr can't handle, and Sinisalo will pick up along the offensive right corner. Goes behind the net, Kerr blocks with his skate, back to Sinisalo, hash marks, right circle, looks in front, straight away to Dvorak. He looks, drive, and Fuhr grabs and hangs on, and he's just been absolutely scintillating.
Boy, I'll tell you, the Flyers were right on the doorstep looking for that rebound, but the shot was taken from the point. It was up a little bit high, and goaltender Grant Fuhr was able to make that glove save. The Flyers on the power play. Dvorak has a puck just inside the blue line, takes that shot, gets it by the defenseman, but it was to the outside where Grant Fuhr could see it, and was able to make that play with Kerr and Zezel on the doorstep, along with Charlie Huddy, the other defenseman, trying to clear the front porch for his goaltender.
1:08 remaining on the Randy Gregg penalty. 9:17 remaining, scoreless second period. In this session, the Flyers have outshot the Oilers 10-3, 27-11 for the game. But with all that's been going their way, 3 breakaways, 4 breakaways, 6 power play opportunities, they've only had that slimmest of margins, 1-0. Bergen loses the draw to Messier. Lowe pokes it around to Gretzky on the far side, and he's able to curl it out on the backhander through into center ice. 1 minute remaining on the power play. Gretzky out with Messier, and they have Lowe on with Fogelin. There's a drop pass, careless, by Crosman trying to find Dvorak, and Gretzky was right there. Now Dvorak on the near side, puts it up the middle of the ice to Joe Patterson. At the line, swings to the left. It's punched high with the stick of Fogelin, then Lowe tries to kick it free to Curry, and he ices it from his own right circle. 35 seconds remaining on the Flyer power play. And Crosman outlets to Dvorak. Up the middle, Craven blocks with the stick as Dvorak was knocked down at center ice out of his helmet. Curry takes it away, shovels it through down the right side. Dvorak going in with his headgear still on the ice, but his head right where it belongs, between the shoulders. The Flyers get it to Crosman. Ron Sutter through to Craven. He stopped at center ice. Ron Sutter is bumped off and pulled down by Billy Carroll as the Flyers are whistled for an offside, the two of them sliding into the Edmonton end. 12 seconds left on the power play, 8:21 remaining second period, 1-0 Philadelphia.
I'll tell you, Ron Sutter, who has been given that job and has been well documented and talked about a lot, of checking the opposition's big guns, and he's done it so well. But he's able to pick up some points as well in this playoff, and he had a real good one against the Islanders as far as offensive production was concerned. 12 seconds remaining on that power play, and again, the Flyers not very potent when they've had the man advantage.
Carson, Bergen, Kerr, Marsh, and Hospodar. Interesting unit out. Then it's Hunter along with Billy Carroll, and they have Huddy out with Coffey. The Flyers now have one last thrust. Hospodar through into the zone. Unable to handle it is Lindsey Carson, and the Oilers. Coffey tried to poke it up and take it himself. Penalty is over as Marsh shoots eye-high from center ice. Pure grab. Winds it around to the near side, but Bergen can contest for it along with Coffey. Goes into the right wing corner to Kerr. Tries to go behind the net, but a little bit too hot for Carson to handle. And the Oilers dig it out and work up through. Comes Hunter along with Coffey at the Philadelphia line. Coffey's going to turn. He's right out in front, and we're going to have a penalty against Philadelphia as Marsh had no choice but to pull him down, and now the Oilers get only their second power play opportunity of the evening. but it's enough to give them a chance at a tie. With 7:47 remaining in the second period, 1-0 Philadelphia.
Flyers penalty to break. Brad Marsh, 2 minutes for holding.
Well, this shows you the speed of a Paul Coffey, and I'll tell you, it was just a matter of that speed. Brad Marsh turned right, but you could just see how he can really accelerate. Paul Coffey pulled it around there, and Brad Marsh grabbed a hold of him, had that stick between his legs, and dumped him. And he also went into the net very hard and was very slow in getting up. So Marsh will pick up the holding minor, and it comes at 12:13 of this second period.
Marsh 34 minutes on the playoff season. Flyers now have 6 of the game's 16 penalties. They're even at 4 apiece in this period. The Oilers 0 for 1 on the advantage. On the playoff year, just 9 for 51. And you could expect Coffey to be out at the left side, Huddy on the right. And up front, they'll go with Anderson on the right. Curry on the left with Gretzky against Ron Sutter, Murray Craven, Howe, and Crosman. Oilers steal back to the point. Coffey looks. Straight away right side to Huddy. His shot way up into the end seat from the top of the right circle. Off the stick of Philadelphia's Murray Craven.
Craven did a good job that time getting across quickly and getting in close enough to Huddy, so when he put that head down to take the big shot, all Craven did was get the stick out there to deflect it up into the stands.
He can really shoot that puck from that point position as well, Charlie Huddy. Keeps it nice and low as well.
It's no exaggeration that with except Grant here, the Flyers could be up 4 or 5-0 in this game. There is Ron Sutter. Just pokes it past his man and then followed up by Craven, who ices it. Craven making a beeline to the bench. And out comes Ilka Sinicello. Sinicello, Ron Sutter. And here comes Curry up the middle to Glenn Anderson. He's got both Curry and Gretzky to his right. At the line, spins to the left, looks to shoot, then is taken down on the near side by the Flyers. It rolls free to Curry, back to Huddy, right side pass to into the near circle. Look out, there is Curry, and he fumbled the pass as he had the open eye on the net. Curry along the hash marks, near circle to Huddy. Screen in front, drive, and it hits that screen and deflects wide as Lindbergh was knocked down just getting up. Dan station right in front, that's Anderson, and a pass deflected as Curry tried to thread the needle in front, and the Flyers pick it off and send it down.
The Flyers are able to hold position in their own zone, and that helps when you're a man short.
Messier tries to go in, pass blocked. And Davey Poulin back in the Flyer lineup coming off from the dressing room. His puck behind the net is tied up by Coffey and stripping him of the puck on the near side. The outlet along the near side through to Gretzky. Gretzky's going to try to turn Crosman in front. The pass goes back and chipped by Philadelphia, but not out. 2 men caught at center ice. Flyers trying to take it away. The Oilers throw it blindly to the near boards. Cut off is Mark Baker. The Flyers fill it down the ice. 25 seconds on the Oiler power play. Pass to Messi on the far side. He gets a tap pass from Gretzky through at the Philadelphia line. Wants to turn to Dvorak, who sweeps it off the stick to Lindbergh. Lindbergh gives it away to Gretzky, and it bounces over his stick to the far side to Gregg. Gregg is cut off, and the Flyers shovel it up on the left wing to Zessel. 1-on-1 against Kevin Lowe. Over the line, he's going to come to the near side, and Lowe sweeps it away right against the board. Flyers' Ron Sutter will poke it back to center ice, and the penalty is over, and the Oilers get 1 shot, although they work diligently on that play. Now the Flyers up the middle. Zessel over the line. Has no shot. Goes to the backhander in front from Marsh. Cut off nicely as the Oilers got Gregg back there. Marsh breaks the stick and goes to the bench as the Flyers have Eriksson on with Dvorak. And the Oilers try to send it down. It'll be an icing. But Lindbergh had to make the play as the Oilers keep it in to the near side to Coffey. Into the left wing corner as the Oilers trying to develop some steam in the offensive end, but the Flyers just defend them so beautifully and position so well. Puck in the Flyers' defensive right corner, kicks behind the net. Dvorak away from McClellan to the far side to Craven. He fails to get out, and McClellan pokes it behind the net. Craven tries to drop it down, comes to the near side, carries it off the glass, and it bounces through to center ice as Coffey, who was stripped of his helmet, goes to the bench. Flyers get it blue line to blue line, and then it's taken away and sent through. The Puzar tries to dump it in, but it hits his fellow Czech on the other side, Miro Dvorak, and deflects into the corner seat. In an amazingly unlike anything we expected game, 1-0 late in the second period, Philadelphia.
The Flyers have been bending lately, but they have not broken. They've held their position in their own zone. When you do that, sooner or later the puck will come to you. If you get running around, chasing the puck in your own zone, the only time you ever catch up to it is at center ice after it's been in your net.
Well, I tell you, Billy Carroll picked up by this Edmonton club in the interleague draft in September when every team in the league passed on him. Have to have a big smug smile now because he's in the Stanley Cup Finals again.
Puck behind the Philadelphia net. Marsh winds it around to the near side. Doesn't kick out. Nice job by the Oilers to keep it in. Carroll chases Marsh behind the net, who wraps it up the far glass. Kept in this time by Dave Hunter. Gets into the corner. Centers off the side of the Philadelphia net. Flyers try on the near side. Prop finally digs it out. Shovels it up the middle, and Carson in full flight challenging Gregg. Had it bounce through him along the far boards at center. Oilers, Lumley tries to poke it through. Blocked off. Philadelphia out there with Hospodar and Marsh. And they've got Poulin on as Puzar tries to penetrate to the near side. Open man in front is Carroll, but Hunter can't get him the puck. He's tied up, and the Flyers to the near side. Outlet to Carson. He'll take it up into center ice. Boom! Hit by Randy Gregg as all of a sudden the Flyers are getting choked off at center ice with 4 minutes remaining second period. There's a steal at center. Flyers try to pick it up. Poulin doesn't, and then follows it up and dumps it in shallow. As out comes the Oilers to center ice. Jackson with an 80-footer just wide of Lindbergh. Sits on the backside of the Philadelphia net. Now in the Quebec series, every time that happened, they blew the whistle. But that time it sat, and the Oilers just had a poke at it. But Philadelphia cleared it to center ice. The Oilers coming a little more aggressively now and penetrating the zone as they dump it off near side, and the Flyers take it, and we got a penalty. And it looks like it's going to be a high stick by S. Hospodar against Wayne Gretzky at 16:30. So the Oilers with another power play opportunity coming up, 1-0 Flyers.
The Flyers got the stick up a little bit high. Eddie Hospodar is going to pick up a 2-minute minor, so the Edmonton Oilers are going to have their third power play opportunity of the game. Time of that penalty is 16 minutes and 30 seconds as Gretzky is going around the outside of him. Hospodar just comes across, gets that stick up a little high on the shoulder of Gretzky as Hospodar tumbles to the ice, but the referee Van Hellerman signaled the high sticking penalty at 16:30 of the second period. The Flyers lead. The Oilers 1-0 on Ilkka Sinisalo's first period power play goal, his 6th of the playoffs.
Well, they haven't been getting many shots, 12 in the game and only 4 in this period, Eddie. They certainly have worked more aggressively in the last 5 or 6 minutes in the Philadelphia end. Curry, Kuchelniski, Gretzky, Huddy, and Coffey. Huddy, the usual member of this power play, has 14 points, and he's not an offensive defenseman, but being out there with that other foursome on the advantage, 2 goals and 12 of his assists. The power play leaders for the Oilers, Gretzky 2, Anderson 2. They've only had 9 out of 52. Philadelphia will go with Ron Sutter, Crossman, Howe, and Murray Craven. Ron Sutter gets it back, and the Flyers poke at the center ice. Huddy off to the left side to Coffey. 3:20 remaining second period. Oilers 0 for 2 tonight on the advantage. The Flyers now have 7 of the game's 17 penalties. There's a dump pass in. Troubling trying to find a man into the slot. They go straight away, and we get the net dislodged again.
What's a big advantage when you have 2 defensemen out there in the power play like Huddy and Coffey are both strong offensively, because it gives you that much more strength against the short-handed goal. And the face-off is being taken outside the Flyers' blue line, so it's obvious that the Oilers were the players that dislodged the net. Minute 43 remaining on the Hospodar high-sticking minor.
Wayne Gretzky, who comes into this game leading the playoffs in scoring with 10 goals, 26 assists with 36 points. Howe, Crosman, Sutter, and Murray Craven against Curry, Krushelniski, Gretzky, Huddy, and Coffey. Ron Finn, the linesman, the face-off just outside the Oiler line. Drifted in, and then Murray Craven tried to bang it off the left boards on a pivot down the ice, but fired instead right into the penalty box and had all of the off-ice officials, who are, by the way, here tonight from the New York Islands.
Off the head of one of them.
Yeah. Let's see, who is that down there?
Okay, those guys were scrambling because there's no glass in front of them. And the shot was taken.
One of the cameramen.
And just bounced right off the top of your head. When you're that close, you don't have time to react. That'll be a memory of the Stanley Cup playoffs for 1985. I'm not sure it'll be a good one or a bad one.
Remember, the Flyers used to have an award in a lucite case, a puck, and it was called the unducked puck if you were drilled. 1:39 remaining in the Hospodar penalty. Eddie with 3 penalties tonight for 12 minutes, 47 on the playoffs. It's an unusually aggressive second period with the Flyers picking up 5 of 9 penalties. Ron Sutter again against Krushelnyski. Just inside the Philadelphia line this time. Goes back to the Flyers. Howe comes to the near side and will lead the charge up at center ice. He's got Ron Sutter with him. Over the line. Angle shot. Not much on that one. It ricochets to the near side. And Yari Curry will take it. With less than 3 minutes remaining second period. There goes Curry. And the puck skips through him at center ice. He's waiting with Gretzky. Through to Krushelnyski into the Flyer zone. Loses it back to the near side. There goes Coffey into the slot off the skate. And the Flyers, Ron Sutter in flight, taking it back the other way. Slows down. Looks to play it into the zone and has Murray Craven. But Craven went into the zone and reached behind him for the puck. And then brought it in from outside the blue line, and that's an offside.
Well, the penalty killers are doing a good job of not allowing the Oilers to get inside the Flyers zone and set up that power play of theirs. There's 1 minute and 8 seconds remaining. And Craven and Sutter are two of the forwards that are doing a good job in this shorthanded situation.
All right, the unit has been changed for the Oilers. It is Jackson and Coffey back at the point. So let's make that a change now. Looks as if they're going to have Gretzky back at the left point with Coffey. And up front, Messier, Anderson, and Napier. Flyers win the draw, drive it off the near side into the zone. Looks like now they're going to try to generate something from the point. Gretzky maneuvering and trying to open up a play. Now they beat Poulin, and up ice comes Messier over the line along the right board. Penetrates halfway into the point, and it skips past Coffey to center ice. Coffey stripped of the puck, and Kropp almost got through him, and then rolls it up ice for Poulin into the zone. He slapped that by Coffey, and then Coffey jams him into the boards, takes him out of the play, and Wayne Gretzky turns up on the right side at center ice. Coming along with Anderson and Messier over the line, fakes the shot, rolls it through, and the Flyers break it up. And on the near side, it's dumped to center ice, where Lowell will take it, retreats away from the forechecking Poulin, down that right side to Messier. Messier into the zone, offside is Gretzky by a long stride. With 24 seconds remaining on the Hospodar penalty. And the Oilers, who have only generated 4 shots in this period, 12 for the game, have not gotten one in on Lindbergh on this advantage.
You talk about stats, that man has them all. Gretzky with 73 goals and 135 assists in this regular season play this past season. Flyers are doing a good job. Crossman and Howe on the defense, the penalty killers.
Wish you had more than one, though.
Especially with all the chances they've had.
Philadelphia will go with Sutter, Craven, Crossman, and Howe against Messier, Anderson, and Napier. Puck up for grabs, rolls into the Flyer zone, and Crossman chips a rolling puck, and he got a break. He didn't get all of it, and it kicked out the center just to the blue line where an Oiler had a play. And then the Flyers do lift it in, and with Pure touching up, he's been magnificent tonight to keep the Oilers well within reach. 5 seconds left in the advantage. The Oilers give it away at center ice. Ron Sutter ices it, and out of the penalty box from Hospodar. We have less than 2 minutes remaining second period, and the Oilers trailing 1-0, bringing it up the middle. To the near side, a pass is blocked off. There goes Sinisalo up the middle, shot. Gets a rebound, hit the outside of the net to the right side of Lowe, or Fuhr, as Lowe digs it out, tries to wrap it off the glass past Marsh. Deep in the zone, he's going to have pressure put on by Messier. Turns and slaps it out to center ice. Zezel goes back as he comes into the zone to Marsh, and then Marsh, in desperation, as he was pressured again by Messier, shoots it out of the rink. So what appeared to be an easy Flyer possession winds up with an Edmonton right circle face-off, Eddie.
When you have a zone, you don't want to give it up, and that's exactly what the Flyers did in that pass. They put it back into their own zone down deep, and Brad Marsh really didn't have anywhere to go with it, as Messier was right on top of him, so he put it up into the stands. So with 1 minute and 3 seconds, we're going to have a face-off in the Flyers zone to the left of goaltender Pelle Lindbergh. Sinisalo had a couple of good opportunities just prior, just broke up the seam, moved over to the forehand, took that quick wrist shot. The rebound was there, he was able to get to it, but it was off wide as the goaltender was there waiting for it, Grant Fuhr.
McClellan out with Willie Lindstrom and Dave Hunter. That's right, Dave Hunter is the brother of Dale Hunter, who was with the Quebec Nordiques, and Mark Hunter of the Canadiens. Puck tied up behind the Philadelphia net as Zezel blocked the pass, but then breaks free of the check. Shovels it up on the left wing at center ice to Lindsey Carson. Carson along with Sinisalo and Zezel, the Flyer line. Puck comes to center ice, and just over the line as Zezel, reading a soft outlet pass by the Oilers, try to contain, but offside, and now we have Clevin McClellan staring daggers at Peter Zezel. 45 seconds. McClellan is talking again with Hospodar. Eddie gets another major. He's gone for the night. 3 majors in a game, and you get a game misconduct on top of it.
I'm surprised. I thought Edmonton would be out here to skate tonight rather than bump and grind, which is not normally their style. They usually are a wide-open offensive hockey team who love to get into a skating and shooting duel. They've only had 12 shots here so far. The Flyers are out shooting them 29-12 and are ahead only 1-0 on the scoreboard with 45 seconds remaining in the second period.
Ron Sutter, along with Derek Smith and Talk at the Flyer line, Crossman and Marr, Crossman and Howe, and it's Curry, Krashelnyski, and Gretzky for the Oilers, and defensively Coffey and Huddy, who has the puck out of his right corner, shadowed by Derek Smith, and the Oilers feed near side, and Coffey will come up the middle. He's got Krashelnyski on the near side, wants to turn Howe, shoots a backhander over the top of the net to the near side, and Tocchet is able to drill it all the way down, but that's going to be an icing. And trailing it after it is Charlie Huddy, and the Oilers will get an offensive face-off with 21 seconds remaining in the second period. Don't forget, we'll all be back for Game 2 on Thursday night at 7:30 on the Radio Network in Prism. Then Games 3, 4, and 5 next Saturday, the following Tuesday and Thursday at Edmonton, Saturday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, next Tuesday at 9 Eastern Time, and the following Thursday at 9 Eastern Time, all on the Radio Network and Channel 29.
Watch Coffey turn out of his own zone. That brings back memories of number 4, Bobby Orr of Boston. When he came around behind that net and those legs were turning, you were backing up.
Ron Sutter will take the draw against Messier. Out with Gretzky and Curry as the Islanders would really like to get something even in the last 29 seconds of Coffey. Shot deflected wide, bangs off the backside of the Philadelphia net to Howe. Wheels up on the left side and outlets to Tocchet at center ice. He misses, then gets it back. Spins inside Coffey, tries to put it in front. Curry breaks it down with 7 seconds left in the period. Ron Sutter behind the net. Tocchet is covered, and there's going to be no further time for a play as we come to the end of the second period. And now we've got Coffey and Tocchet and everyone gathering in behind the Philadelphia attack net. And Andy Van Hellemond saying, you're coming off the bench, don't come over the blue line. So the rest of the players are milling at center ice, while all those save the Flyer goaltender and the Oiler goaltender are milled in the corner. Now they break off. So we come to the end of the second period, no scoring. Flyers had 5 of the game's 10 penalties in that second. They have 7 of the game's 17. They outshot the Oilers 12-4 in the second period, 29-12 for the game. After 2, Flyers 1, Oilers nothing. We'll be downstairs with Bobby and his guest. Sinisalo with a 2-man advantage. Score at 15:05 of the first period is 6. Curran Bergen. The assist, the shots, 29-12 Philadelphia for the game, 12-4 for the Flyers in the second period. We'll note that in the second period there were 10 penalties evenly divided. The Oilers, though, have 10 of the game's 17. In the all-important face-off matter, the Flyers have won 25 and have lost 31. And the most dominant player on ice has been Mark Messier, who has won 19 of the face-offs in which he's been involved and lost only 7. The 1+ for Philadelphia in that department, Ron Sutter, 12 up and 8 lost. Limited number of Flyer season tickets are going to be available for next year, so if you've never had them or would like to purchase more, don't wait. Call the Flyers tomorrow, area code 215, the number 465-4500. That's area code 215-465-4500 for Flyer season tickets, and do it quickly. Do it tomorrow. The referee, Andy Van Hellemond, the linesmen, Ron Finn and Leon Stickle. Kelly Lindbergh came into this playoffs with a sparkling goals against average of 2.26. Grant Furr down at the other end has stole some thunder tonight as he's turned away 28 of 29 shots. The referee, Andy Van Hellemond, again, we mentioned, wearing the helmet. Grant Fuhr at the end of the ice to our left, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia. Poulin, Propp, and Craven out, along with Philadelphia's Marsh and Eddie Hospodar. The Oilers will counter with Lowe and Fogelin, and up front, Messier with Napier off and Willie Lindstrom on the right, and Anderson on the left. But the Oilers try to drill it in. It deflects far side. Hospodar cuts off Anderson, and Craven with the puck is able to backhand it into the neutral zone. The Oilers wait, try to clear it back, and it kicks off the stick and then taken offside by Willie Lindstrom. Lindstrom, who came from Winnipeg in a trade. Brad Marsh came here from Calgary from Mel Bridgman, who then was sent with the New Jersey Devils, where he ended the season this year as that team's captain. Set a record of sorts along with Ross Lonsbury, having played 83 games in the season that he came here. Ross Lonsbury, of course, played 84 one year, a certain number with Los Angeles, and then the extra 4 that enabled him to set a record of playing 84 in an 80-game season. Flyers win the draw. Craven taking it along with Kerr and Trop. The Flyers up at the center ice, and Kerr drips it in on Fuhrer, who grabs. Remember, he's got the glove on the right hand. Flyers picking it off, dumping it, trying to go deep, but Fogelin is there, and then it goes behind the net. Kerr bangs low. Poke checks it up on the far side to Anderson. Kicks away to Messier, and Messier will start away on the left wing at center ice. Arasto drops back to Anderson at the Flyer line, trying to split through. There's a shot. Oh, right in front, rebound, and it's covered by Lindbergh, as Anderson was able to get all the way through, and within the first minute of play in the third period, almost had the equalizer. Ron Finn now checking both sides to make sure all is in order. It's Pelle Lindbergh with the first heart thumper of this third period. Messier dropped off to Anderson, who got a bounce pass through past Marsh and then ripped it in on Lindbergh. And the rebound was perilously in front, and then as Marsh tried to clear, it was Messier taking a backhand poke from 5 feet out to the front left of the goaler. Couldn't do much with a bouncing puck, and it stays 1-0 Philadelphia. Gretzky out along with Curry, and now Dave Hunter, as Glenn Sather's doing some juggling of lines. Huddy with Coffey. Flyers have Sutter on with Tocchet and Poulin. Howe and Crosman. The Flyers win the draw. Outlet to Tocchet on the right side at center. Rolling puck. Drills it into the Oilers zone. It bounces up to the near side past Fuhrer. Oilers try to come out. They get it to Curry, and away through to Coffey. Will fly up at center ice with Curry as the trailer. Over the line, Curry's going to go right on in. His shot hit the short side on the outside as Lindbergh had it covered. But the Oilers are putting on their move early in this third period. As the Flyers wheel it up on the far side, Gretzky tries to get it out or cover it, and the Flyers get it out to center ice. There goes Derek Smith down that right side with a loose puck behind the Oiler net. He's cut off by Coffey. Coffey tries to rip it up near side to Curry. Curry can't get it out. He's blocked by Howe and Derek Smith. They give and go in the corner, try to put it in front. Curry takes it off and outlets off a skate, and they look for Gretzky at center ice, but Hunter hangs on and then drills it through to Gretzky. A give and go that's blocked off by Ron Sutter. As Gretzky tried to find Hunter up the middle, and the Flyers now, Ron Sutter working at the goal line to the left of the net, drills it off the far boards and all the way down, and we're going to have an icing as the clock clicks through a minute and 52 seconds, a minute 53 played of the third period.
Attendance is sellout, 17,191.
Well, pegs aren't even safe when you're on the bench, because Bobby Froese got clipped with a stray stick and took some 15 stitches over the left eye. I'm sure there'll be a lot of talk about that at the practice tomorrow.
Oh, you better believe it.
And Hospodar and Marsh out. And Philadelphia will go with Zezel, Carson, and Sinisalo. Napier, Krushelnyski now. And taking the draw will be Kevin McClellan, as Glenn Sather's really juggled his lines now to get some offense going. Puck along the far side. Zezel loses it. Kevin McClellan's got Greg trying to come up the middle, but then took a shot from an angle deep off to the right of Lindbergh. That was covered, but Greg was the open, vulnerable man coming from the right point.
The Oilers are a little bit more aggressive here in the third period. They're keeping their defensemen. They're pinching their defensemen in along the boards and not allowing the Flyers that outlet. So the Flyers will be looking to Pelle Lindbergh as the big man here in the third period for the Flyers.
Zezel against Kevin McClellan, a defensive right circle. Kicks out, the Flyers are controlled. Then Zezel kicks it through, and Sinisalo has a stick held at center ice. Over the line, drive, and sure got that one. But that was brutal on that far side, as Andy Van Hellemond could not see. But Sinisalo had his stick held all the way up ice. As the Oilers drilled it in, Napier around to the far side to McClellan. He's cut off. The Oilers trying to dig it in the corner. Krushelnyski. He's cut off by Lindsey Carson. The puck kicks to the near side, open man in front. Centering pass. Flyers get it out to center. Now picking it off with Sinisalo, but the Oilers have picked up their pace enough. Drilled it into the offensive right corner. It caroms out to the near side. The Oilers take it up. Backhanded toward the net. Tipped wide and off the side to the backboard by Marsh, and then up off Craven's stick to center ice. The Oilers realize they got to get something going, and the earlier the better. Hospodar is the puck in the zone. Off the far boards to center ice. Low back there with Fogelin, and up front they've got Messier. with Lindstrom and Anderson. Now Fogelin will lead the charge. Into the zone, over the line, tries to drop a pass. Lindstrom takes it off, tries to go back in deep to Fogelin, who winds it around behind the net. They look to center it, and a nice check by Hospodar, but then Marsh can't find the handle. Now he digs it out, wheels it up near side and back to the point. Fogelin with a drive, that's blocked off. Flyers are 2-on-1. Kerr with Craven. Craven in, he's got Kerr in front, pass, and it was about shin bone high, and Kerr got a piece of it but couldn't direct it home. As the Oilers, Messier to the far side, tries to come to center ice to Coffey. Flyers break it up, wheel it into the zone, but Huddy cuts it off from Derek Smith, who's out with Kerr and Ron Sutter. Puck at center, now through into the zone to Kerr. Tries to spin pass low. Can't make the play, and then puts it through the goal mouth from the far boards, and the Oilers take that loose puck and storm up as the pace of the game is really quickened. Over the line, Huddy with a shot off the top of the glass behind Lindbergh. Drops it down at his feet, and Crosman on the far side will wheel it off the back skate of Ron Sutter. The Oilers dig it out, go behind the net. Gretzky is cut off by Howe. Beautiful play by Howe to wheel up on the right side, clear back into center ice. And boom, Ron Sutter knocks Huddy off the puck and clears it into the neutral zone when it appeared Huddy was going to contain it in the Flyers' end. There's a play into the zone. Gretzky overskates on the bouncer. And back comes Ron Sutter at center. Through to Tocchet. Back to Sutter. He's got a man in front. Couldn't get him to pass. Oh, my. Open on the left was Derek Smith. And the Oilers coming back. But this wheeling-dealing is bad over the line. Offside Edmonton. Curious pace. First period. 4:29 gone and remains 1-0 Philadelphia.
One thing the Flyers have to do, they have to start detaining the Oiler wingers at the blue line. The Oilers are being able to blow right in on there. Nobody's slowing them down at all at that blue line. They're getting, the Oilers are doing that to Philadelphia, so they're going to have to make some kind of an adjustment, slow up those forecheckers to allow their defensemen to get back there and make that turn. And you got Tocchet and Huddy.
Yep.
That's Jackson. They should leave Jackson alone. You'd want him out on the ice.
They're going off, I believe.
Well, Huddy made a good play to try and keep that puck in, but Sutter's tenacity just knocked it out over the blue line. Don Jackson and Rick Tocchet are going off. Not a very good exchange for Philadelphia. 4:29 is the time of these penalties. Tocchet of the Flyers, Don Jackson of the Oilers, and we'll have to wait for the call on it because it happened after the whistle and before play had started.
Jackson doing a lot of talking, but not much other than just exactly that. Flyers lead 1-0 with a first period power play goal by Ilkka Sinisalo.
Flyers penalty number 22, Rick Tocchet, 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty, 4 minutes, 29 seconds.
Slashing for Tocchet, Don Jackson for roughing.
Tocchet, who leads the Flyers in penalty minutes, now has 60. And there have been 19 penalties in the game, 11 to Edmonton. They're skating at 4 apiece out there as the Oilers have provided their most vigorous offensive action through the first 4 minutes of this third period. Howe up the middle, at the line, fakes the shot, it bounces on him, curls at the point, goes cross ice and has Crosman down into the right corner to Prop. Prop looks back for Howe, tries to cut in and shoots wide, and it ricochets past Prop. And the Oilers' Messier will start up on the left wing at center ice, coming with Anderson. Looks to shoot wide and high of the net, and the ricochet back at center ice along the near wing, where Prop fights through Anderson over the line to Davey Poulin. Poulin checked along the hash marks offensive left circle, gets the puck into the slot. A shot by Crosman, and he hit the rebound on the side of the net. He hit the post. Back to Dvorak into the corner, and it kicks free. And the Oilers look to break out at center ice, and they do. Coffey against, there's Coffey in! Goes to shoot, and he was hooked off at the last second by Poulin.
Boy, what a great defensive play by Davey Poulin.
And we'll have an icing call. As it appeared, Coffey was home free, but the Flyer captain scored it. That rush to a standing ovation.
You talk about big offensive plays, but a lot of times a defensive play can do the same thing for you. Just prior to that, Boston had a good opportunity from in close. Used the defenseman Huddy as a screen, but Muir was able to make that save on the rebound. He whacked at it and just went off the side of the goalpost, but Davey Poulin going the other way made a superb defensive play, just catching up with his check as Coffey breaks in behind. Just comes into the picture. Coffey's trying to use his body to screen him off, but Poulin just gives him that one little extra hook, and that's all it took.
Gretzky will be out along with Curry. Huddy with Coffey. Flyers go Craven with Ron, Sutter, and Crossman with Howe as Pocket for Philadelphia and Jackson for the Oilers, each 49 minutes remaining on their minors. 5:40 through a scoreless third period, and again 1-0 Philadelphia. Gretzky straight away to Coffey with a bullet. Blocked. And then it kicks back at center ice. Coffey detains Craven's face, allowing Huddy to pick it off in his own zone. Wheel it to the far boards to Coffey. He gives it away at center. Sutter on a breakaway. He's in. Shoots. Goal!
Coffey tried to flip a lead pass over to Yuri Curry. That's when Sutter just walked right in, intercepted it, and with a nice move, even with the backhand shot, Brent Fury even got a piece of it. But he still had enough of the net to put it in and put the Flyers up by 2, but a good heads-up play by Sutter. Heads up all the way, a high flip, Burr got a piece, but not enough. The Flyers have a 2-0 lead, and Sutter has his 4th goal of the playoffs.
Sutter keeps it in, but then Gretzky takes it away. Tries a pass to center ice, is blocked, but now Curry's through. Over the line, he's going to go right side to Coffey with a drive. Kick save by Lindbergh. As Gretzky picks it up, he's got Coffey in front. He's got Curry at the top of the circle. The pass to Curry is blocked off by Ron Sutter and sent to center ice. As each team will get a man back in 7 seconds. Coffey on the far side to Curry. Curry falls, gets up, wheels through, and Gretzky's got a man for the net. There he is. Open net. Curry with a drive. Saved by Lindbergh. Holy cow. Penalties are over. 13:25 remaining third period. 2-0 Philadelphia.
Bobby, the goaltenders are just taking turns and making one great save after another.
They certainly are, and I'll tell you, you really have to be aware of it. Yuri Curry, who can move from that right side to the left so quickly, and also one-time that shot so well, and Lindbergh made the big save, but it really has to take another look at the goal from the in camera. Sutter hit up all the way. Now, see, right there is where Fuhrer got a piece of it with his glove, but not enough, and the Flyers have their 2nd goal of the game. 2-0 Philadelphia.
And Sutter also had a battle of rolling, skipping puck all the way in. Never stopped flat for him.
Well, again, a turnover was a result of Sutter having 1-on-1 with the goaltender, moves to his backhand, gets it up over top of that glove to give the Flyers that important 2nd goal to give them a 2-0 lead with 13 minutes and 25 seconds remaining here in the 3rd period.
Blowout along with Hoagland, and it's McClellan, Napier, as the Flyers win the draw, cleared around, but it'll be picked off at the point. Hoagland through a screen. That hits a Flyer body, and it clears to center ice. The block by Lindsey Carson, who's out there along with Zezel and Sinisalo. Flyers get it, drive it all the way down, and we'll have an icing called unless Philadelphia gets there first, and they may just do that. Sinisalo kicks it onside. Now to Lindsey Carson, offensive right corner. Pull down, looks to center it. And it's taken back down into that same corner by Sinisalo, tied up by Lowe. And Hoagland comes up with it and outlets off the stick to center ice. The Oilers pass through to Napier into the neutral zone at the Flyer line. Over the line, Krushelnyski for the net. Shot blocked off by Marsh. Back to the side of the net. The Oilers knock it down. Great check in there by Zezel to take it away from Krushelnyski. As the Oilers battle on the far side. Boom! A bearing cut. There's a play in front. And the Oilers still battling for it to the point. The Flyers finally take it off, and they don't shovel it out. Now they do, and there's another breakaway. But the puck goes deep into the zone for the Oilers, and Kerr was able to take it as Zezel was alone. Long drive by Krushelnyski, and Lindbergh grabs and falls on the rebound for a shot from the left board. 12:16 remaining, third period from the Spectrum. The Flyers 2 and the Oilers no score.
This is the first game of the 1985 Stanley Cup Finals. Has a little bit of everything. It's got outstanding goaltending, some good stiff body checks in behind the net. Brad Marsh and Peter Zezel are really stiffing them up with good solid body checks. And it's had a little bit of fisticuffs, some great plays. Just had that Stanley Cup flavor.
Flyers are being outshot 9-3 in this 3rd period, but they still have been able to hold a comfortable 32-20 edge.
the Oilers go Anderson on the left, Willie Lindstrom on the right with Messier. And at the point, Jackson along with Randy Gregg. The Flyers have Kerr with Propp, Poulin, Howe, and Crossman, and Poulin cheating in on the circle with Lindstrom. Napier played this wing through 2 periods, but they've now used Willie Lindstrom as the Flyers along the near side tied up. Gregg, now Messier kicks it out, looks to play it in on the net. The Flyers Kerr blocks it to the far side, and Poulin outlets up on the left wing is center to Propp. Propp at the Oiler line, throw into Kerr, but just as he broke for it, it was tapped nicely by Jackson. Flyers steal, shot, rebound, score!
Again, we mentioned turnovers, mistakes. The Oilers will give you your chances. And if you can capitalize on them and put them away, you're going to do all right. That's exactly what Timmy Kerr did, going to the net. Kerr had it. He could have held on to it. He didn't. He threw it away. Davey Poulin comes back into the picture. The save is made. The puck's loose. Big number 12's going to the net, and he rams it home to give the Flyers a 3-0 lead. But the Oilers will give you your chances. They will make mistakes. They will turn it over. And that's exactly what happened on the goal by Timmy Kerr. Poulin had it, just gets it up in front. Timmy Kerr's right there. So the goals by Sutter and also by Timmy Kerr have been turnovers or mistakes.
Play at center ice. The Oilers with 11:46 remaining. Messier out in front, tipped away, but not enough by Lindbergh, as it appears Jackson might have a rebound effort. Then the Flyers slide it through at center ice. You're now going to see the fury of this outstanding offensive team pour at Philadelphia. Lindstrom over the line, a shot. Lindbergh kicks it to the near side. Flyers in control. And here comes Craven up the middle with Propp on his right, 2-on-2. Now over the line. Propp has it taken off the stick by Messier. He'll turn back at center ice for Edmonton at the Philadelphia line. Drills it in. Taken off by Lindbergh to Crosman as Curry was cut off in his pursuit. They got it around the Propp and up the middle. And there is Craven along with Curry at center ice battling for the puck. Derek Smith tries to take it. He falls. Then Ron Sutter overskates, and Curry finally in the neutral zone takes it through over the line. There goes a shot whistling over the top of the net by Dave Hunter. The Oilers on the rebound, pick it behind the Philadelphia net. Hunter makes a check on Howe. The Flyers wheel it up on the near side. Oilers keep it in. Curry in the slot. Tipped wide to the far side. To Gretzky in front to Coffin. He's hand on the shot. And the Flyers up the middle and boom, pull down into the zone of Rick Tocchet as the Oilers with 10:30 remaining in the third period trailing 3-0. Put it up the middle of the ice. Go to Gretzky and he can't handle it. He'll follow it up offensive left corner along with Crosman, who wheels it around to the near side and into center and past Vogelin, who's out there now for the Oilers on the defense with Kevin Lowe, and they have Krushelnyski up there with Napier at center ice and Gretzky. Puck tapped back, and there is a pull down by
That's 3 in a row he's missed.
Well, it's third period. Now there is Patterson shooting from a weird angle, almost a foot away to the right angle of Kira, that's right. Flyers now just beaming and forechecking. Boom, and check on the near side on Napier, and we get a stoppage of play. 9:49, and this is just another brilliant performance by Philadelphia. 9:49 remaining, third period, 3-0 Flyers.
Edmonton is really frustrated right now. You can just see it. The Flyers have really been throwing a blanket over him. The official on that goal, Tim Kerr's ninth from Davey Poulin at 8:07, has given the Flyers a 3-0 lead. But the whole play, Grant Pierce made very few mistakes this whole game, but he made a big one here when instead of keeping the puck, he had to make the play, but instead of throwing it, he could have just dropped it. Of course, everybody has 20/20 hindsight, but this time Poulin was so quick to jump on that loose puck, feed it to Kerr for that open net goal.
I tell you, my friends, I haven't had goosebumps since you guys played, but I got them tonight. Jezelal along with Patterson and Kerr. Casallo's gone to the Flyer dressing room, and we're not sure why, but we'll get a report on that. Puck behind the Oiler net. Here around the near side to Napier. Napier tries an outlet. That's smothered, and now it's covered by McClellan. Cross ice, and it's brought up the middle by Lowe. 80-footer from the neutral zone. Lindbergh blocks. and sweeps it under his body as Mark Napier was first in along with Philadelphia's Brad Marsh. 9:33 remaining third period. Flyers 3 and the Oilers no score.
On a play like that, a goaltender can really help his defenseman out, Bob.
Boy, yes, he sure can, knowing full well how quick that forechecker is on his defenseman and how close he is. And when you're watching that whole play, you either talk to your defenseman or freeze it. Boy, I'll tell you, the fans were awfully happy here.
McClellan along with Krushelnyski left. Napier right, Lowe and Fogelin, and the Flyers have Hospodar on with Marsh. And they go Zezel, Kerr, and Joe Patterson. Puck in the near corner, kicks off the side of the Flyer net, wheeled up the middle and bounces through past Lowe, skips and rolls into the Oilers zone along their left wing. The far side, Oilers outlet up the middle. They have to take the pass on a Karam off the right board. McClellan at the Flyer line, shot wide to the short side to the right board. Krushelnyski in there over skates. The puck is up for grab. Kurt takes it and wheels it down the right board past Don Jackson. Is out with Dr. Randy Gregg, number 21, who has the puck and then dumps it off in his own left corner for Jackson. For the Oilers, back to Gregg, blocks with his skate. Return pass at center ice. At the Philadelphia line, Napier tries to dump it toward the net. It's blocked behind to Howe. Howe then gets a clearance pass to the near side. Knocks it to Poulin. He's tied up by Gregg. The Oilers come out of that corner. In on the net. It's wide, and the shot or pass goes to center ice. There goes Craven after it. But following it up is Prop. Up the middle. Craven is onside. It stops off to Poulin. Poulin kicks it into the corner, but finally the Oilers cover up. And John Daxon to the near side to Dave Lumley, was making his first trip to the ice since taking that one of the rare trips since he took that penalty in that first period. Puck to the near side. Oilers digging it out. Flyers getting it, looking for an opening and feeding it off the far board. Not
Offside.
out. There's a shot off the top of the stick of Crosman from the offensive left circle and up into the NC.
That puck was offside.
I agree with you, Bobby.
Came right out of the blue line. It was an offside call. They missed it.
Well, Leon Stickles here.
He's the one who made the call. But a player who you have to really be aware of, and we've talked about it, is Mark Messier, and it seems like in the toughest games where there's an awful lot of bumping and grinding, that's when he really plays his best.
Messier out with Lumley on the right, Anderson left. Putty back with Paul Coffey. Poulin, Carson, Craven, Hospodar, and Marsh. 8:08 remaining third period. 3-0 Philadelphia. Puck goes toward Lindbergh, scooped up. Hospodar right in the middle and then ices it. I don't think he wanted to do that. And the deep rebound taken by Coffey for the stoppage of play.
When that defenseman gets that puck, a lot of times that winger will break for the center of the ice into the open for that lead pass, and I think that's what Hospodar was looking for, either the left or the winger or Carson or the centerman to break up through the middle.
Well,
take that pass.
Yeah, better that than turn the puck over your own zone. If you really don't have a clear play or clear out, either freeze it or eat it or dump it all the way down. Take the safe play, the sure one.
3-0 Flyers, 7:59 remains.
Poulin, Messier, and then Marsh tries to clear it out, and it skips and bounces through Lumley into center ice. Puck in the neutral zone. Anderson turn off the left boards, a wraparound behind Lindbergh. Lumley tries to pick it up out the right corner. Cut off. The puck goes back to the point. Huddy pivots inside. Carson loses the puck. Flyers try once and get it the second time up on the near side. Craven's got Carson breaking up the middle. He's there. Skated off the puck. Now he takes it along the right hash mark. He's got a shot in if he wants it. Knocked down and then shovels it in the corner and gets up to go back with 7.5 minutes remaining in the third period. Flyers open it up for a breathing room. Ron Sutter at 5:56. Kerr at 8:07. Now the Flyers see Anderson bust into the right corner. Looks to center it through the goal mouth. Deflects back to Lowe. Back at the top of the left circle at the point. Shot. Deflected to the near side. And the Flyers take it and bang at the center ice. And Tocchet is there, trying to work past Kevin Lowe. Looks for some support. Doesn't have it. Fights off the check. And is knocked down and rolls it into the Oilers zone. It'll be a delay offside unless they bring it out cleanly. As Ron Finn has his hand up and now drops it. As Curry's pass into the zone along the left side to Yaroslav Puzar. Centering play knocked up in the air. Flyers try to clear and do up the middle of the ice. Tocchet with Ron Sutter on his left, and on the right side, Derek Smith the trailer. Smith is there. Shot. And that was blocked by the diving body of Kevin Lowe in front. Ron Sutter takes it off. Derek Smith is shot again. And again, this time it was Fogelin who dove in front of his own goal. There's Tocchet. Back to the point. Thomas Eriksson a drive. Kick save, and Pure grabs the rebound. 6:27 remaining in a remarkable Flyers performance. Third period, 3-0 Philadelphia.
Well, the people love it as the Flyers are putting on a little pressure of their own. They want to play as much as they can of the remaining 6 minutes and 27 seconds in the Edmonton zone.
Well, that sign says everything. But it has to be extremely hot out on that ice. I know it's very hot where we are up here in the top of the stadium, but I'll tell you, you can just see the fatigue in the players' faces and how tough it is to skate, because when it's this hot, the ice also gets softer, and it's like skating in sand.
Gene Hart along with Eddie Van Impe and Bobby Taylor as Peter Zezel looks on. He's out with Patterson on the left, Sinisalo back out of the dressing room on the right. And they have Dvorak out with Eriksson. Flyers taking it behind the net. Sinisalo can't center and just tying up time. And he can't give the puck away to Jackson. Now he's pulled down and Jackson's going to pick up the penalty. It'll come at 13:47. Jackson is 4th penalty of the night, and the Oilers 12th of 20 called by Andy Van Hellemond.
That's what happens when you stick check in your own zone. You just pull away and peck away with your sticks. Sooner or later, a penalty is going to be called, and Sinisalo was able to control play in behind the net for a good 15 or 20 seconds. And all Jackson was doing was going after the puck and hooking it away at Ilka Sinisalo, and finally hooked him hard enough that he pulled him down to the ice to give the Flyers another power play opportunity in the third period. Time of that penalty is 13 minutes and 47 seconds. Of the third period, Don Jackson picks up a 2-minute minor for hooking.
All right, Philadelphia will have their 7th power play opportunity. They're 1 for 6 tonight on the playoff year, 17 for 82. That's just a touch better than 1 in 5. But the Oilers, again, 6 shorthanded goals, and they have to think offense, and they have Messier out there along with Billy Carroll. And defensively, they have Coffey on ice with Huddy. Now the Flyers penetrate left side. Patterson at the angle, in at the goal line, around behind the net. Huddy puts the grab on him. It kicks free to Sinisalo in front, and right there was Zezel, but it just deflected over his stick, and the Oilers take it and wrist it down. Now they'll bring out Dave Hunter along with Billy Carroll, and Huddy on with Kevin Lowe as prop up on that right side at center over the line to Kerr. Return pass near side to Zezel, who controls. Now they have it set up in front. Pass just knocked down and sent to center ice on an excellent play by Billy Carroll, as it appeared the Flyers had Kerr open to the side of the net. Now to Howe near boards. 5:20 remaining third period. Howe into the zone, up the middle. Kerr, there's shot. What a wrister, and Kerr with another dandy. Now Kerr loses it, but goes back to the point. Crossman flubbed the pass, and the Oilers trickle it to center ice with 55 seconds remaining on the penalty to Don Jackson. Has 40 minutes on the playoff year. Puck kicked free at center. Played instead to Dave Hunter, who will turn at center ice. Less than 5 minutes remaining in regulation. Masterpiece by Philadelphia tonight. Over the line, a shot blocked off from Dave Hunter and taken by Mark Howe behind the net. Wheels it up through to Timmy Kerr off the stick of Crossman to center. Out the Islander line, down that right wing side, tries to drop a pass off. Flyers clear into the slot. The Oilers take it away, and up ice comes Gretzky with Curry, and on the near side, Coffey. Over the line, a drop to Coffey. Shot! Pick save! And the Flyers covered the rebound, and out comes Ron Sutter down that right side with 15 seconds on the power play. Over the line, Sutter in the corner. There is Derek Smith right there, and Grant Fuhr read that perfectly to get it out. Now pocket a shot. Another great save by Fuhr, as the Flyers found the opening, but not the one through Grant Fuhr. The penalty is over. Jackson comes out. 4:10 remaining in regulation. 3-0 Philadelphia. Game 1, Stanley Cup Finals, and we're thrilled that you're with us on Prism and on the Flyers radio network. Flyers dump it toward the Oiler net. It kicks through as Philadelphia now has Poulin out with Prop and Tocchet. They kick through to the Oilers into the Flyer zone. Bounces near corner. After it is Napier. The Flyers dump it to center. Prop there gets it through Gregg, who's on the defense with Jackson. Krushelnyski, McClellan, and Napier. The puck in the Flyer zone and sent out by Crossman to center ice with 3:40 remaining in regulation. To the near side. They play up the middle. 2-on-1. McClellan there. Shot. And getting a piece of it was Doug Crossman. And that's as close as the Oilers have penetrated all night. 3:31 remaining in regulation. 3-0 Flyers.
Boy, I'll tell you, Dougie Crossman made an absolutely outstanding defensive play. They broke out 2-on-1 on him. McClellan had a chance, but Crossman just played it perfectly. He stayed in between them. The Oilers were on the attack. He stayed in between them. All of a sudden, the head goes down. You know he's going to shoot it. Crossman gets out, gets that stick out in front, deflects the puck up in the stands. Well played, about as well as you could play it. Dougie Crossman just did it perfectly. 2-on-1, you stay in between them, force them to the outside.
The Oilers have doubled their shot total for the game in this period. They only had 12 through 2 periods. They have 12 in this period. To Philadelphia's 8. 37-24 the Flyers for the period. Flyers try to come out. Look out, it's blocked off. Anderson at the point drills it off the far boards behind the Flyer net. But Messier didn't read the play, and the Flyers try to clear out to the point and pass Randy Gregg into the neutral zone with 3:19 remaining in regulation. Randy Gregg trying to play it up ice. And here comes Messier over the line, breaking for the net, all alone in front. Lindstrom, a shot, score!
Well, Lindstrom that time was left all alone as Hospodar got caught out of position. He went running over, and Lindstrom was all alone, and he pumped that goal home. Lindstrom with an excellent lead pass from Messier. Just broke in a goaltender, Kelly Lindbergh. And on the backhand was able to beat him. Again, Hospodar caught out of position. Brad Marsh was not able to recover as Lindstrom was in behind him to make that big play to give the Oilers their first goal. It's his third of the playoffs. 16:52 is the time.
They're still alive. Jones. There's a play to the far side. Gregg a shot, and the Flyers have Prop on the break down that left side. Going in against Fuhr's shot, and the save is made. And the Oilers take it off as we have less than 3 minutes remaining in regulation, but the Oilers have cut into that lead by 1. An explosive club, a dynamite club. Flyers now realizes it'll be a dynamite last 2:40. You don't want to give them the proximity goal. They've got Messier, Anderson along with Lindstrom. And now Derek Smith comes on for Prop. As the Oilers put it up the middle of the ice. Lindstrom is out there, over the line, drop pass to Messier. And the Flyers are able to get it up to Ron Sutter from Derek Smith at center. He loses possession. And the Oilers, Huddy goes left side to Paul Coffey with 2:20 remaining in the third period. The Oilers through on the near side. Gretzky can't handle it. It skips in and taken by Crossman from Lindbergh. The Oilers keep it in. Krushelnyski tries to get it, and the Flyers cover up. And Pocket sends it to center ice. 2 minutes remaining in regulation. There goes Curry right up the middle, and he's cut off. Tries to control the puck. Cannot. The Flyers try once to get it out. Look out up the middle. Coffey with a drive. And that went wide. And the Flyers are getting a lesson that they carried this team and shut them down for 54 minutes. Led by 3, but they're dangerous. They have won, and they've been tucking away for a second. 1:40 remaining in regulation. 3-1 Philadelphia. As the puck at the Flyer line, it's cleared. The Oilers have to wait. They wait too long, and the Flyers chip it to center ice. Back comes the Oilers up the middle. There's Lindstrom in front again. He can't handle it. Centering pass off the backside of the net. So desperation has finally brought out the best in the Edmonton Oilers tonight. But with that stoppage, the faceoff will come to the neutral zone. 1:21 remaining in regulation. Gregg and Messier the assist on that Lindstrom goal at 16:52. Flyers as Grant Fuhr heading toward the bench slowly. All right, 30-second timeout called by the Oilers. You've just joined us. The only score through 2 periods. Flyers skating 2 men up. Sinicello was 6th from Bergen and Kerr at 15:05. They were scoreless in the second period, and through 40 minutes of play, the Flyers outshot the Oilers 29-12, and the penalties were 10 of the 17 to Edmonton. Here in the third period, Ron Sutter on a giveaway by the Oilers' Paul Coffey went in alone and scored on a backhander off Fuhr. It was his 4th unassisted, and 2 minutes and 11 seconds later, Poulin on a bad giveaway by Fuhr. Shot. Fuhr covered it. The rebound was slugged by Poulin to the open side of the net where Timmy Kerr slapped it in. Then Lindstrom, after Lindbergh had shut them out for 56 minutes and 52 seconds, saw him score on a backhander off the short side post. His third from Messier and Gregg, and then the Oilers peppered away a couple of times. We have a minute 21 remaining, and Fuhr out between the circles. If the puck goes in the Philadelphia zone, he'll head to the bench, and I'm looking to see who will come off the bench. Looks like Krushelnyski is right there at the door with Andy Moog, the backup goaltender, set to open it if the puck comes in the New York Philadelphia end. So it's Messier, Anderson, Gretzky, Coffey, and Curry, and Fuhr ready to head to the bench. The Flyers will go with Sutter, Derek Smith, Howe, and Crosman. Puck is taken, and on the near side, Coffey tries to penetrate. Rubbed out. Philadelphia takes it, cannot come out with it. The goaltender is out. Anderson tries to put it in. Sutter has the open net, but when he's in his own zone, just decides to put it to center ice rather than risk the icing. The pass to the near side. Flyers take it off. Lift it through at the Edmonton line, where Curry will take it off into the zone. He's got an open net. Overskates, but Pocket couldn't control the puck to play it in front. We have 1 minute remaining in regular. There's a steal. Shot through the open net by Tocchet, and it was cut off nicely by Coffey. Tocchet steals again. He's knocked down. And finally, Curry gets it up to the near side to McClellan. Rink wide into the zone come the Oilers. To the right corner. They got a man breaking for the net, but the pass goes around to the far side. Ron Sutter should get it out and lifts it high in the air and bounces it off the penalty box on the far side. And so the Oilers, with 36 seconds remaining in regulation, get a break with an offensive left circle faceoff. Ron Sutter, Derek Smith, Howe, and Crosman, and the Oilers with a goaler out have 6 attackers. Anderson, Messier, Gretzky, Curry, Coffey, and Krushelnyski coming off. No, he's going 2, 4, 6. Somebody has to come off for the Oilers. They have 7 players out there. And it appears to be Kevin McClellan. Tried to get his beef in between the circles. So between the circles, Coffey and Krushelnyski. They've got Curry as the trigger man. No, he's going between the circles. The one trigger man is Gretzky, and Messier will try to get the puck back to him. They'll jam the net, prevent the Flyers' pursuit, try for the screen shot. Flyers, Ron Sutter will try to get it back in the corner to his right. False draw as Messier tried to cheat. 36 seconds remaining in regulation. What was a breeze for Philadelphia now becomes a little tender. And a nice play by Sutter to get it into that corner. A wraparound, but not very strong to the near side by Howe. Coffey loses it. The Flyers on the near side. Ron Sutter tries once to shovel it out. There's a break at center ice. It'll be an open net score for Poland. And the Flyers are going to win it, my friend. As the Flyers took the puck away, and they found Poland all alone, and he just escorted it down ice and into the net. And it comes at 19:31. So in an eye-opener, the Flyers, as they stopped Edmonton, get it along the near side. Sutter was able to get it to Lindsey Carson and through to Poulin at center ice, and he had the open aisleway all the way down. Or as they say, the coup de grace. An empty net goal by Davey Poulin at 19:39. After Davey on the playoffs number 3. Ron Sutter, I thought I heard Todd Bergen. Was he out there at the time? The Flyers get it up. At center ice. Yep, he was. There's a long shot in. Save is made. And Lindsey Carson, as I thought, 5 seconds, 4. And in an eye-opener, not only the Flyers' victory, but a dominant performance in the game. It's all over. And Philadelphia has drawn first blood and held the Edmonton Oilers to 1. Final score, Flyers 4 and Edmonton 1. The shots in the third period. The Oilers 14, a game total of 26. The Flyers had 12, a game total of 41. There were 3 penalties in this third period, 2 to Edmonton. The Oilers had 12 of the game's 20. The Flyers, a poor 1 for 7 on the power play. The Edmonton Oilers, 0 for 3. So those are all the numbers. We'll wait for Lou Nolan to give the 3 stars. And then we'll go down to Lou, or we'll wait for Lou to give the 3 stars and the shots. And then we'll go down to him for the announcement of those 3 stars. Again, Ron Sutter and Lindsey Carson on the assist on Poulin's open net goal at 19:39. Let's go down now to Lou Nolan.
This evening's 3-star selection is made by Jay Greenberg, sports writer for the Philadelphia Daily News. Star number 3 from the Flyers, Mark Howe. Star number 2 from Edmonton, Grant Fuhr. And tonight's first star for the Flyers, Ron Sutter.